Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. Breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Podcast,
Don't listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and up.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
It's us again.
Let's go.
you, Sean, Jorge, Eric. Here we are.
Yes. And here you are.
How are you
listening to
today?
us.
And this is going to be a good one,
Well,
guys.
tonight.
How are you today? So tonight's episode is Tupac Shakur.
Tupac. Amaru Shakur. I don't know.
I mean, we're all. I mean, this is our. He's
still on
so
the
when he
playlist,
was
bro.
hot. When he was hot, I was 14.
Killing the game.
So I wasn't his age, but
No.
I was. You know what I mean? Like same difference for you guys.
You're
definitely
still
relevant.
bumping rap
Yeah.
music though.
Yeah.
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 You still listen to him?
Run
honestly?
with
Oh, I still listen to him.
You do?
Hail
And
Mary.
back then, I was, listening to him.
What's your favorite song?
Oh god, that's impossible.
Yeah, that is
Don't-
kind of
don't ask.
impossible, but like,
I
don't know.
like Dear Mama just because
Dear Mama is so
it's
good.
so
I like
good.
that
And
one.
I,
Yeah. But,
California Loves
and
Good.
I almost
Oh.
played that for my mom at our wedding, but I was
really?
like, I'm not gonna say my mom's a crack fiend. So,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna take that.
Mama was a crack fiend.
I like All Eyes on Me.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
good.
Love of a third nigga to the dead. All eyes on me.
So this is not really the life of Tupac Shakur, but
No.
it's more the murder of
The death.
Tupac.
The death of
Yep.
Yeah, the
Tupac
murder of
Shakur.
Tupac Shakur, and there's so many conspiracies about this. There
There still is.
there
going
still
around.
is, and it keeps going
And
and
this was a
going and
while
going.
ago.
Yeah, and so we were like, all right, let's dive in. Let's see.
Deep dive.
Now, what I did find interesting in doing all this was that Tupac is always put together with Biggie.
Always.
You know what I mean? So
They were
it's-
the two titans at the time.
yeah,
so.
and he died 6 months later.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
But-
but I didn't want to just do it. It's the Biggie Tupac episode. I wanted to do Tupac.
Yeah. And we'll
You know
do
what I mean?
another one maybe for
And then,
Biggie, right?
And then we can dive into Biggie later. But
Yeah.
for the most part, this is going to be Tupac. So Tupac.
Wait, before we go on, I want to know, like, is Tupac the GOAT for you?
Oh,
I mean, I think he was the GOAT of that time. I wouldn't say he's
Not
the.
now.
I don't want to say he's the.
No, the GOAT is greatest of all time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Wouldn't call him the GOAT of all time. He was the GOAT. He was the greatest of that time.
So he was the GOAT when he was alive. He was the GOAT.
He's
not the GOAT.
He's like Kareem.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
He's Kareem was at that time.
Kareem was the GOAT until Jordan arrived. Like,
the problem with Eric saying that is that he's saying that LeBron is the GOAT now.
No.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying when you say that.
Jordan's the GOAT, bro. Jordan was after Kareem.
Of all time, right?
Yeah, GOAT.
But he's saying...
between you and me, I put LeBron at 11.
11. I would put LeBron at like 3 or 2 or 3.
I'm at
2 or
11.
3. Yes.
I'm at 11.
Yeah, your top list is like Steve Nash.
Tupac is my GOAT.
But who's your number one? Who is his number one?
Are you talking about basketball now? Or
no, we're talking about rap.
So who's the GOAT?
Because if Tupac was of the time, then who's his GOAT of all time?
See
that Eminem?
You can't have a GOAT of all time. It's the fucking GOAT.
That is the GOAT. Yeah, the actual GOAT. Like I would say, Tupac's he's
a top 3.
He's easily top 3.
Top 3.
But I just
for sure.
I just can't. I don't know if I can put
him 1.
I know as weird to say. Like I honestly do believe that Eminem's the GOAT.
When it comes to
Eminem's number 1.
But when it comes to actual lyrics and rap, and that's why I like rap. If the lyrics, don't get me wrong, I'll listen to some fucking trap shit where the words don't matter, it's just the beat, and you're like, yeah.
But as long as you don't say Drake is your GOAT.
No, God, this isn't an art. Who's the best R&B artist? Oh my God, Drake's like, hey, if you're listening, to Drake, I still like your shit, but just like not your new shit.
We'll jam out.
Your new shit's trash. Your old shit is dope.
So you're at Eminem 1.
Yeah.
And
I would say Tupac's
who's your at number? Tupac's at 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where's Biggie?
Like 5.
5. Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
He's great. Don't get me. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But not
great.
like.
Yeah.
I thought Tupac was better.
You know, at this time when I was doing the research, Nas was considered number 1.
Dude, Nas the best.
At this time, you mean like present time or like
in the 90s?
Dude, I would put. I would probably.
No, they were saying a lot of what was going on was Nas was number 1.
That's what I say. I would say Eminem, Tupac, Nas, J. Cole. Because J. Cole, J. Cole, dude, straight fire.
Where's Cube and Snoop?
No way. Not
they're
even
down. They're down.
They're like
sorry,
70.
Sorry, guys.
No, because like NWA was great, but it's if you listen to it again, it's like not that great.
Right.
It's really.
Well, I mean, it's changed a lot, honestly, right?
Yeah.
Even the styles of everything has changed so much.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, for sure, my opinion, Tupac was the
Tupac
GOAT.
was untouchable in the 90s for sure.
Well, Tupac was born. Well, actually, he was born LaShawn Parrish Crooks.
Oh,
that's his real name.
I like LaShawn.
Yeah, LaShawn.
Hey, I never knew that.
His middle name's Amaru. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Tupac Amaru Shakur.
So he literally made up a middle name too. Damn.
No, actually, his mom did.
Yeah.
His mom changed his name when he was 1.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah. But he was born LaShawn Parrish Crooks, and he was born in 1971, June 16th. So we're just kind of talking about how he's sold more than 75 million records.
And
worldwide.
dude, in the 90s, you were like slaying.
He's killing.
You sell that many, you're like
so killing
vaporizing.
Yeah.
That's when they had records.
Right.
You actually sold CDs and shit.
So Shakur was born June 16th in East Harlem, which is the upper part of Manhattan in New York, which is funny because West Side, East Side.
Yeah.
He was born in the East.
Yep.
I always thought that was funny.
One other thing I want to add is like why the name Tupac. He was named after Peruvian revolutionary Tupac Amaru II.
Yeah.
When he was a year old, like you just said.
Yeah.
But that has a lot to do with the whole revolutionary thing or whatever. It's because his mom was Black Panther.
That's right. There you go. So Shakur's parents, Afeni Shakur, was born Alice Faye Williams in North Carolina, and his biological father, Billy Garland, and they were Black Panther Party members in the 60s and 70s. Okay, so the Peruvian guy that you're talking about, he's the descendant of the last Incan ruler.
This is weird because the Incas are South American.
Yeah. So a month before Tupac was born, his mother was tried in New York City as part of something called the Panther 21 criminal trial. Yeah, and it was a bunch of Black Panthers basically who were charged with a bunch of explosions and
like actual terrorism,
different stores and that sort of thing. So it was charged as a conspiracy. So
like
it's like us Greek. Yeah, it's like us as a group charged with all the things that you did, all the things I did, all the things you did.
Yeah.
So everybody's
just charged. Yeah. So 150 charges.
Jesus Christ.
She was acquitted.
Oh, good.
Nice. So she was acquitted of those charges. Just to give you an idea, Tupac's stepfather was also, he spent 4 years among the FBI's top 10 wanted fugitives.
Holy shit.
Black Panther Party.
Yeah, she had him while she was in jail.
Man.
Yeah.
He was birthed in jail.
Physically?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was at the hospital, but she was incarcerated.
Well, yeah, probably like the
not
the nursery. What the fuck is it called? Like the fucking
what do they call that?
The medical
infirmary. The infirmary.
There you go. I think that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. We hella smart. We hella smart.
Hella smart.
Yeah.
Our new hit single, "Hella Smart," coming out this summer.
But so Tupac's stepfather Mutulu was apprehended in '86 and convicted for a robbery of those armored trucks.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Where a couple officers were killed. And
so this is like the town, but in Harlem.
It's like a real thug, thug life.
Tupac's
that's
where the tattoo came from.
Yeah. So Tupac's godfather was named Elmer Geronimo Pratt.
What the
coolest name I've ever heard. Elmer Geronimo Pratt. Yeah.
I mean, this guy sounds like a comic book
And he was
character.
part of the Black Panthers, and he was convicted of murdering a school teacher during a 1968 robbery.
Wow.
Jeez.
This is really stand-up guys in his life.
But
Needless to say.
But after spending 27 years in prison,
They had
his
DNA evidence.
conviction was overturned because the prosecution concealed evidence that proved his innocence.
Holy
Did
shit.
he get
That
it-
was after 27 years.
27 years,
Can you
he was
imagine
like,
that?
go.
I would be
Fuck
like,
that.
just kill me.
Yeah.
Like, it's useless.
27
But I
years
guess-
of your life.
I
Just
guess where we're
fucking-
going with this is that
One in his life is a criminal.
or
Or
part
not.
of the
Yes.
Black
No, they are.
Panthers and part of this guy was acquitted.
That's true.
His mom was acquitted. So it's kind of like, I guess I don't want to say
Kinda like a
hate against
conspiracy.
like
I can see how that would that for him that
You're
would
being raised in
instill
this.
like
Yeah.
fuck the police.
Yes.
They're after
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
They're
yes.
gonna try to pin shit
Yes.
on you.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
though you are doing illegal
Yes.
shit.
That's right.
It doesn't matter because they're after you.
That's right.
Even though you're breaking the law.
That for sure is the start, but we'll get into it also. But like with the way he grew up according to his songs, at least, right?
Right.
Like the cops are always after black people in his neighborhood, and
I mean, I think things were a little saucy there for sure.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way.
yeah.
So in the 80s, Buck's mom found it difficult to find work, and she also had a drug addiction. So she was dealing with
Even as a crack fiend, mama, you
Yeah.
always was a black
although it does go back to, was it difficult to find work because you were addicted to crack, or was it difficult?
or was it just difficult to
addicted
find
to
work?
crack?
Then you got addicted to
Yes,
crack.
yeah. It's one or the other.
But then you would think like if it was difficult to find work, why would you spend your money on crack then?
Yeah,
So
it's
you gotta
very
think
expensive.
you gotta think it's the inverse of that.
Yes.
because it's fucking
Yes.
addicting. That's why. You
yeah,
can't
but
help
maybe
it.
you could find a job if you weren't addicted to crack.
Yeah, maybe if you weren't spending crack, you'd be like,
She's a crack fiend.
When a crack fiend, mama,
we're gonna hit that
never
line.
penitentiary.
We're gonna hit that line so many times.
So in 1984, his family moved from New York to Baltimore. He attended 8th grade at Roland Park Middle School, then 9th grade at Paul Lawrence Dunbar. He transferred to Baltimore School for the Arts in the 10th grade, which is sophomore year.
Yeah.
10th grade.
Yeah.
He studied acting, poetry, jazz, and ballet.
Oh wow, ballet.
That's crazy.
He performed in Shakespeare's plays.
Yep.
Yeah. Or the fake Shakespeare. Yeah. Episode number 4.
Shakespeare.
Episode 4.
What was his
Yeah,
name?
go check that out.
Lord
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
whatever his name was.
So then at the Baltimore School for the Arts, he met a person and became really close with Jada Pinkett.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. They had the whole thing. Maybe that's why she's such a bitch to Will Smith.
Jeez.
Dude, are you kidding me? She's openly fucking another rapper.
It's fun.
Like, openly. She's
so
openly
dark.
doing it. It's
yeah.
not okay.
Dude, have you seen the Chris Rock special?
Oh, I know. I heard about it, though.
Crazy.
I'm going to watch it.
Because he's like,
I just saw that part where he goes into that.
he goes in, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, what kind of bitch? She cheats on you and then puts you on live television and says,
it makes you
how
apologize.
do you feel about it?
That's just, and then they had that little interview. It was so weird.
So bad.
It's so weird.
I kind of agree. I kind of feel bad for him.
I feel super bad for him.
I don't really feel bad for Chris Rock.
No. I don't feel bad.
I mean, he just got smacked. I mean, big
Oh,
deal.
it's fine.
So at this school, anyways, they became friends, and they started doing poetry together and that sort of thing. And then he won a competition, which was the school's best rapper
Because he was the only one.
Because he was the GOAT.
Because he was the goat.
So in 1988, Shakur moved all the way to the west. And he moved to Marin City, California. Yeah, it's the Bay Area. It's Marin City, and it's kind of like it's nearby Mill Valley. It's not really San Francisco. It's kind of on the other side, that sort of thing. But
Did it say why?
I think for work, for the mom, stuff like that.
Some of the research I did, it was like he was getting in trouble a lot, and the people he was hanging out with and shit. And so the mom's like, kind of like the
Let's get you a new
kind of like the
environment.
Will Smith, song. No, but it was like that.
Maybe that was what it was based on. Yeah. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is literally loosely based off Tupac Shakur's life.
I didn't know that. But just as a point of note, he never graduated high school. So he left. He did later get his GED.
And it's like 20s.
Yeah, so like, take that for what it is.
Good job.
So Shakur then started recording under a stage name named MC New York.
That's a
Now it wasn't
super fucking
it
lame.
wasn't in
Yeah,
New
that is
York.
lame.
It wasn't in New York. It was in the Bay Area. So it was MC New York in the Bay Area.
No, I'm
Yeah, you're tracking. Yeah, okay. That year, he began attending a poetry class. Layla Steinberg, she became his first manager. She organized a concert for Shakur, and he has a rap group called Strictly Dope.
You gotta love the 80s.
Yeah, and then that's when he met a group called Digital Underground.
Oh yeah,
and that was when he kind of got hooked up with Digital Underground. And in '91, that's when Tupac debuted for the first time under the name Tupac. And it was with Digital Underground.
He was MC New York.
That's right.
Okay.
So in '91, then he was with Digital Underground, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Tupac." That was his name.
Hey,
Tupac. Under a new record label, which was Interscope.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so that's when Tupac joined Digital Underground.
That's right. And he was in that song, same song is what it's called.
Sing it.
All around the world, same song.
No,
those are two different songs. The Humpty Dance and the same song.
That's right.
So he was in the same song. I think that's probably his first big
thing. Yeah,
his first big rap.
Yeah,
that's where people
first music video.
He's a guy.
First music,
yeah.
Actually, he was a backup dancer for them.
Yeah,
really.
That's right.
And then that's when they started going on tour.
He's using that ballet skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was with Digital Underground, and then October 31st, which is Halloween, 1993.
Thank you, Eric, for that. Thank you for the which is Halloween disclaimer.
Just
I had no idea.
And when's the 4th of July?
So Tupac was arrested for the first time, or at least the first time on record, in Atlanta for shooting 2 off-duty police officers.
For shooting 2 off-duty
Damn.
What the fuck?
The police were brothers, and the Atlanta police claimed that the shooting occurred after the brothers were almost struck by a car that was carrying Tupac while they were crossing the street with their wives.
Oh,
so they were off-duty cops, basically. They argued with the driver. His car pulled up, and he shot one of them in the butt and the abdomen.
Damn.
Damn.
Anyway, so there's conflicting accounts. Tupac says that it was in self-defense. And the other guy said, well, Tupac shot me first. Tupac was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault.
I believe in Tupac on this one.
Well, okay. Aggravated assault for shooting 2 cops?
Yeah.
That's
Also,
crazy.
but one of the cops was charged with firing at Tupac's car
Oh.
and making false statements later.
What an idiot.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
So idiot. So the cop admitted to possessing a gun that he had taken from the evidence room.
Oh my God.
Come on now.
Wow.
So prosecutors ultimately dropped the charges because of all that.
Because this guy
weirdness.
was shady as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yep.
Okay,
And
I happen to have some cash from the locker. Okay.
Yeah.
and some cocaine from the evidence room, but
and the cop resigned 6 months later, 6 or 7 months later.
It's like they're on to me. Shit. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. But the cops filed civil suits against Tupac, and they were settled out of court. So
Yeah, I'll give you $50.
Yes.
But
But
like deal.
yeah,
no, I mean at that time he's making money. I think,
the
right?
cops sued Tupac for $2 million.
Woo.
And it was settled after Tupac died by his estate.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah. So 1993, that's where we're at now. Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. meet for the first time. They meet on the set of the movie Poetic Justice. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
John Singleton movie with Janet Jackson, Regina King. Anyways, they clicked. Biggie said, we just clicked off the top and we were cool ever since. So Biggie and him actually were
They
friends.
were friends, yeah. They
Most
started as
people
friends, yeah.
don't necessarily know, but they were friends, right? So at that time, Biggie was not happy with his recording career. So he asked Tupac, he said, hey, can you be my manager?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so Tupac said, Biggie looked like he was wearing the same pair of Timberlands for a year straight. And he advised Biggie to stay with Puff Daddy and said, the bad boy founder, Puff Daddy, will make you a star.
And he sure enough he did.
Sure shit.
So there you go. So,
So he has a profit too, and a
But I
goat.
guess I guess the point of that story though is that,
Time traveler.
the point of that story though is that they were friends originally.
yeah.
And he said, "Hey, stay with Puff
Daddy.
Daddy." Yeah, you know.
I mean, there's a
And there's
The
a whole
whole thing,
reason why
yeah.
they're like East and
Yeah.
West started. But go ahead.
probably Puff Daddy
So
first,
in
isn't it?
Yeah,
'94, Tupac released Thug Life Volume 1. And this is when he started to really get, this is 94 was like,
off.
yeah, this is-
94. So he already had done Juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good
and,
movie.
and probably Above the Rim too, because that's also what kind of catapulted him.
I thought
Actually, Above the Rim is coming up. Like
Okay.
we're in there.
I thought
Okay,
yeah,
so it's
we're
right
there.
around there.
I didn't like that, but I thought Juice was great.
Juice is good.
Juice is good.
Yeah.
I have to watch that one again.
So he was, so he was acting and he was doing a lot.
He was
he was all over the place, right?
fingers in all the pots.
So
Okay.
at this point, he's a bigger actor than rapper, right? 'Cause-
No.
I think
He was selling. He was selling millions.
He was selling.
He was selling millions, and he was also just drifting into the acting world. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Okay. So in November 30th, 1994, this is when everything went wrong. And this is called the Quad City shooting.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of this, but essentially this is what kind of set everything in motion. East Coast, West Coast
Right.
situation, right? So what's strange about Tupac, and we're going to go through this a lot, but what's strange about it is he was always broke.
This is weird.
He's always broke.
So even when he's famous,
Even when you're rich, you're broke.
yeah,
He was broke. I mean, the record labels would give him a car and the watches and this, but he never really
He was never like liquid.
he never had financial acumen. Like he was never really. I mean,
but back
I would
then,
assume
it wasn't like it is now. Back then, right? Meaning now you sign, you might get maybe a few million. Like
No,
I
but
don't
what
even
happened-
know what you get.
no,
but like
you
back
get it-
then, you wouldn't get a few million just for signing.
Like
or,
now, they just give you an advance, and they pretty much it's an advance against estimated record sales, and
There you
then
go, yeah.
and then they take the money back, and then they have it set up to like, okay, we'll give you an advance, and then you'll get like X% after said money is recouped. And a lot of times, there's big contracts. Those guys won't read it. All they see is the advance money. Fuck yeah! And then they're like, cool, we'll get advance to this, and then you get fucking 1%.
But we also have to mention, like back then, it was the whole gangster rap thing was going on, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't everybody's buying gangster rap albums, they buy rap albums now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
So there's not a lot of money going on. But go ahead.
Well, so November 30th, 1994, so he was in New York. And he was offered by a music manager named Jimmy Henchman. He offered
You like make that up?
So he offered Tupac $7,000 to stop by a place called Quad Studios and record just a verse to be on a track for Little Sean. Right?
See,
so he was
that's
like,
what I'm talking about. Like nowadays, I heard. I think it was like
100 G's for that.
No, I heard what's his name, Snoop. He was saying $250,000 just for a verse.
Wow, crazy.
Shut up, Snoop.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
So like that's the difference. That's what I was talking about.
Well, but apparently, so he was unsure if he should do it, but he was I need the money.
It's like, damn, 7 G's, bro.
Yeah. So because what happened is, and we'll go into it in a little bit, but he was being charged for sexual assault, and so he had lawyer fees at this time. Yeah, he had legal fees, and apparently he just didn't have a lot of cash.
Yeah.
And so he was, I'm getting offered $7,000.
It's like, yeah, that's
let's go just to do one track.
Another couple weeks on the retainer.
Yes, exactly. So it was in Times Square, but he agreed to do it. He needed the cash. So he arrived with Stretch, which is one of his homies. And in the lobby, he saw a guy, and he later talks about this guy, and he says, most black men always recognize him or say hello either out of jealousy or out of admiration. But this guy didn't say anything to him. He just tipped his cap down, and he just didn't look at him. And he was wearing camo.
Oh, this is what's his name?
So he walked in, and he walked into the lobby, and near the elevator, they were robbed and beaten and then shot. He was shot like 4 times, and per the reports, he took the elevator up to the top floor, and he was bleeding.
Oh shit!
And he opened the top floor, and there was Biggie and Puff Daddy, and he just walked in, and he sat down on the couch, and he smoked a cigarette.
What a fucking legend!
And then they called an ambulance. They called an ambulance.
What a fucking badass! He's like, give me a cigarette, bitch.
Yeah.
A Newport.
I know.
Now, but what sucks? The problem with the situation is, Tupac then thought it was because Biggie and Puff were there.
Yeah.
Right.
So he thinks that...
Wasn't he going to record for them or with them?
No.
Oh.
Totally coincidence.
Oh, okay.
They're in the same building.
Right. So then, of course, he's thinking like, why are these fuckers
fucking
here?
guys have like trapped me, basically.
I know. They were, you gotta get rid of the competition.
Yeah.
So who shot him?
Yeah. So, okay. So I wrote this note down. So in 2011... it was reported that Dexter Isaac, which was an imprisoned murderer serving a life sentence, confessed that he was one of the men who shot and robbed Tupac at Quad Studios.
Oh, one of the guys.
And he was ordered from Jimmy Henchman, which is the guy who was paying him the $7,000 to be there in the first place.
Damn.
Oh, gotcha.
He said, Henchman hired me to rob Tupac. He gave me $2,500 plus all the jewelry that I took, except for one ring, which he took for himself.
So it was a setup. Same, like that's what Tupac said from start, for forever.
I wonder who the other guy was, like fucking Chug.
No, he didn't.
There's the suspicion. So he gets taken to the hospital, right? And he has surgery. And then instead of staying there at the hospital, he decides to leave the hospital. And the next day is the jury's verdict of his sexual assault case.
Oh, so
he shows up, and there's video. He shows up in a wheelchair and an arm brace.
Yep.
And like he's like shot, etc.
It's like even has a bandage on his head.
That's right.
Bandage turn.
So he shows up the next day at the thing, and he's ready to get the verdict. Now we're going to talk about the sexual assault case.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So so what are we doing? There's a lot.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
No, it's a lot of things. So 1993. So 1 year earlier.
Okay.
1 year earlier, right? There's somebody named Ayanna Jackson. Okay. And she was 19 years old. And she admitted that before this night, she was having sex with Tupac.
Oh, so okay. So they're already
boning.
They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're boning.
And she's admitted that
she's admitted
consensual sex has happened.
So now November 19th comes along. He's staying at a hotel, and he invites her over, and she comes in, and she claims that he said, "These are my boys. I like you so much, I decided to share you with them. He had his hand in my braids, and I can't physically move." And then Shakur reportedly left the room, and then Jackson then said she was raped by these 3 other guys.
Oof. That's the worst.
I know. I don't know how I can't be like, she's lying.
Yeah. So then she says, Tupac was lying on the couch. In my mind, was thinking, this motherfucker just raped me, and he's lying up there like a king, acting as if nothing happened. So I began crying hysterically and shouting, how could you do this to me? I came here to see you. I can't believe you did this to me. She later confirmed, though, that she didn't have sex with Tupac that night, but she was raped by the other people.
Okay.
But she's accusing him.
No.
She's accusing him of setting it up.
Set it up.
Right,
almost
right, right.
almost like he's like the trafficker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So
That's super fucked up.
So he gets shot. Remember, he got shot at Quad City.
Karma.
He wheels in, and then he's there for the verdict.
What's the verdict?
Okay.
Guilty AF.
He got, yes, he was convicted, and he got 18 months to 4 years. That's what the judge said. The judge said it was an act of brutal violence against a helpless woman, and Tupac was out of line and anyways.
And setting it up.
And
shit.
inhumane. And set the bail at $3 million.
Damn.
It's a hefty bail, especially in
So
those days.
He had to go to jail for how long?
18 months to 4.5 years. That was the conviction.
Yeah.
18 to 4.5. Yeah. Now, Tupac said the following. He said, how am I going to force a woman to do something to me that we've already done consensually?
Well, you didn't force her to do it with you.
If the case is about me and this girl, then we wouldn't be here. I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I'm not guilty of rape. Just because I don't want to be with a girl doesn't mean they can accuse me of rape.
Oh, see
it's a crime for that girl to turn this into a rape charge. In the report, it says I was in concert. Where are those guys? I don't want to go to jail for something they did.
See, that's what you're saying is I didn't rape her.
So,
I didn't rape
what's
her at
crazy,
all.
though, none of them got convicted.
Did
Only he.
Yeah, that's weird.
So that
Well, they
part
want to make an
sucks.
example out of him,
And
I
he's
guess.
the star. That I
So
mean,
that
you
part
think they would
sucks.
go
Right.
after those guys?
Yeah. So he goes to jail. So there you go. So Tupac goes to jail. So then,
correctional facility.
Yeah.
I remember that from one of his songs. I don't know.
So then he's in jail, and when he was in jail, LL Cool J released a song called "I Shot Ya." Biggie released a song called "Who Shot Ya."
Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah.
And Tupac's fucking getting livid.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You fucking shot me.
And first of all, like LL Cool J, just stop. That's
Who are
shut
you?
up.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
Yeah. So he's getting madder and madder and madder in prison, basically.
And all he has
like
is his own
friends.
thoughts.
He thought his friends were conspiring to
Madder
kill him.
and paranoid.
Yes, exactly. While he was in prison, he released "Dear Mama."
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
classic.
And that was a #1 release.
Yep.
That was his first #1. Yeah. That was during his prison stay too.
So that was
Mama was a black queen, mo. Always was a crack queen, mo.
that sounded kind of like a country song to me.
What are you talking about? That sounded great.
Eric just morphed into
So that was the album "Me Against the World." That's the one that got released.
Yeah. Okay. So now we fast forward a little bit to August '95. He's still in prison. He's still in jail. So at the '95 Source Awards, this is when Suge Knight won.
Oh my God.
He won for the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Suge Knight's the worst human being who's ever
And he
lived.
goes up on stage, and you can watch it on YouTube. He goes up on stage, and then he disses, and this is what they all say, is that he disses Puffy in the speech. He says, hey, all of you artists, if you guys want to get your albums produced without me dancing in your videos, alluding to P. Diddy, then come over to Death Row. And then apparently, like, per the people in the crowd, including Snoop Dogg, etc., it was palpable. It was like it was West Coast, East Coast starting to get,
But also,
fuck you,
Suge Knight is like
things are getting
the greatest
weird. Yes.
antagonist person who's ever lived. He just wants to start shit with everybody.
Right. Yeah. Meanwhile, a couple weeks later, a Death Row employee is shot, in Atlanta. This is just added notes of things are fucking wild. Like things are getting
Things
like,
are popping
you know what I mean?
off.
Like
It's the
it's
wild
getting
west.
crazy. Yeah. So come September, Tupac is desperate to get out of jail.
I would be too.
He's desperate to get out of jail. He's done. He doesn't want to be in jail anymore.
How long has he been in there?
18 to 4.5 years.
6 months. About 6 months.
Damn.
About 6 to 7 months.
Dude, 6 months in prison, I would have already jumped off.
Just like hung myself. Fuck that shit.
Out of here.
So
Jeffrey
but
Epstein
he couldn't figure out how to pay the $3 million bail.
Well, yeah, because you'd have to put up a bond, but you need at least 10%
Something like crazy. Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot of money.
So, guess who showed up as like a white knight? Suge Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
As a Suge Knight.
Let's showed up as a Suge Knight.
So there's this famous story where that Tupac sold his soul to Suge Knight on a napkin. So he's like, what do I need to do to get out of jail?
He's like,
and
I'll
then
tell you what you need to do.
You need to join Death Row, and you need to give me X amount of albums.
Right.
And apparently, I mean, this is all theory. Apparently it was all on a napkin.
He's like, just burn that napkin. I didn't agree anything.
Now, I did research this a little bit extra, and I did find the original document that Tupac signed.
Oh, really?
4 pages. Yeah, it's not a napkin.
It's on eBay right now.
But if you remember, we were talking about he was originally with Interscope.
Yeah.
So Interscope made them put it into some form of legible contract, and it was 4 pages long, and it's the signature of Tupac, Suge, and Interscope.
Oh, so it's pretty much
saying it's transferring over to Death Row, right? Anyways, side note, that contract sold for $15,000 like 2 years ago.
Really?
An auction.
Yeah.
As an auction item. It is known as Tupac's bail agreement. And then 8 days later, after signing that, he was released from prison.
Damn, that was fast. Suge works fast.
Yeah.
He probably killed the commissioner.
So he gets out of prison. December of 95, Snoop Dogg is in New York.
Oh, yeah.
People get shot, fired on, nobody gets hurt, but basically the message was sending to West Coast rappers, don't fucking come to New York. Like it's getting, West Coast, East Coast becomes a thing. Like it's actually a thing. Yeah. Okay, February of 96, Tupac releases All Eyes on Me. Sells
best album of all
sells
time.
500,000 records in like 7 days.
Yeah, instantly.
7 days, yeah. 96 Soul Train Awards. You know, he wins big. The next few months are just the West Coast, East Coast thing just keeps going. And it keeps boiling up and fuck you and like West Side and like that whole
and they're dissing each other in songs now, so it's like it's there forever.
You know,
it's so funny. It's so over nothing. We're both in America, but you're on the other side of it. Fuck you.
and then he also released the song of Biggie's wife,
Faith.
No,
Faith.
Eve.
Yeah, it's
Eve.
Like, it's
Eve.
No,
right?
No.
You say you're being a player, but I fucked your wife.
I forget her name, but yeah.
And it says something
Eve,
and then fuck for life.
Like a face something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Eve Faith. Eve.
So in June of 96, Jay-Z drops Reasonable Doubt, which features Biggie, and he says some shit about having twins with his wife, and it's called Tupac's. Anyways, they keep going and going and going, and so it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. In August of 96, Tupac records his album called The Don Kilimani, The 7-Day Theory. Illuminati, there you go.
Yeah.
Under Machiavelli, that's the first sign of Machiavelli and that whole thing.
Another great album.
Really good.
Right?
Yeah, really good.
Okay, so then we fast forward, and here we are. So September 7th, 1996.
Illuminati.
So Tupac Shakur decided to go to Las Vegas. He had a business partner
mistake.
Yeah, so he had a business partner named Tracy Robinson, and it was and also he was friends with Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson was going to fight Bruce Sheldon.
And Mike Tyson was super rich.
This is Mike Tyson's peak. Right? Yeah, super peak, right? So it's at the MGM Grand. So Mike Tyson wins in 40 seconds. Like it was one of those you remember those fights that Mike Tyson would do?
It's just a quick aside. Too.
Everybody,
the way things are nowadays are so different. You have a year to train. Mike Tyson, I think he fought when he was in the championship zone. I think he fought like 9 fights in a year.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was every other month. He's like in a fucking championship fight and knocks the dudes out. All right, another 2 months. You have another fight.
Yeah.
So anyways,
all he needed was 40 seconds. So he's like, I'm still in shape. Give me another one in 2 months. I'm still in shape.
So fast.
All right, so to put this in a little bit into context, so Suge Knight created these chains, and they were Death Row record chains, and they were massive gold chains.
Yeah,
you remember they were huge, right?
Yeah, with the
gold.
Logo.
Yeah, and I think they were $10,000 each, and he only gave them to made men. If you that's an analogy.
Everything is like Goodfellas.
Yeah, like it's a made man. You get him, you're in. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit before, there was one of the crew of Death Row where a guy named Orlando Anderson tried to rob this chain from the guy. Okay?
Selling a pawn
So
shop.
that was a little bit before. It was at a mall. And anyways, he tried to rob it. That's what happened. Okay, good. So now the Tyson fight happens. Tupac is pumped. And the reason we know that is because he's on camera.
Yeah.
There's actual video. If you wanted to look it up on YouTube, there's video of Tupac pumped about Tyson winning.
Vibing.
He's walking the casino floor like fucking
Just vibing.
Yes, like pumped out of his mind, right? Even Suge can't even
McGregor
keep
walk.
up with him. Yeah. yes, exactly. Okay, so they get to the lobby, and this is all caught on camera. You can watch it. It's all caught on camera. And somebody says something that says, hey, there's that motherfucker Orlando Anderson over there.
Oh, let's go
Where's he at?
So kill him right
So
now.
Tupac and
Fuck the
Sugar pumped,
consequences.
and they have a posse of like 6 people.
They're trying to steal our chains.
Yeah.
When I saw it on the when I saw that video, it looked like 60 people.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Looks
It
like
did.
a mob.
I know.
They're
Imagine
also
you
in a casino.
Yeah.
Though, so.
No, I know. But
So they
I'm just
go,
saying, it
and
looked like
Tupac
it.
throws the first.
Of course.
Like he comes and he bum rushes Orlando Anderson, and he starts beating on him. Then in the video, Suge, it looks like Suge is kicking him in the face too.
Probably. There's a 100% chance.
It looks like it.
Suge Knight is stopping.
But later on, we'll talk about that because it's important.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. So he beats the shit out of him. Though. Yeah, we fucking like Death Row, bitch. What side?
Yeah,
all that shit, right? Okay, good. So that happens. It's all caught on video. Nobody knows it's caught on video. Okay. So then he goes back to his
Gentlemen, it's casino.
Yeah.
It's fucking idiots.
Fucking eye in the sky catches
I know,
everything.
everything.
So then Tupac, I mean, even at that time, the eye in the sky catches
seriously,
everything. So Tupac then goes to his hotel room, and at that time, he was actually Tupac's actually dating Kadada Jones, which I don't know if you guys know that, but Kadada Jones is the daughter of Quincy Jones.
Right.
Yes.
Also the sister of Rashida Jones, who's in Parks and Recs.
Yeah,
and a bunch of other
big.
stuff.
Yeah, she's also
bunch
in.
of other stuff.
She's in I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Paul
She's-
Rudd's wife.
She's semi-famous. I would give her.
she's
I would
pretty
give her famous. Yeah. Okay, so he goes to the hotel. Now, here's the strange part. Ever since he was shot at Quad City, the Quad City studio,
Oh yeah.
he was wearing bulletproof vests.
Smart. Very smart.
Everywhere he went, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. For some
I
reason,
would too.
he left that hotel room, and his bulletproof vest was on the couch.
Conspiracy.
He didn't put it on.
Suge was like, "Don't wear it, trust me."
Yeah.
And he told the Kadida, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this club. It's Suge's club. It's called Club 669, and it's kind of 662. Sorry, and it's like a charity thing. And we're gonna just roll up, and you stay here. You don't go anywhere. You stay here."
Yeah, I don't need you at the club with me, girl. You stop. You've been crushing my vibe.
Additionally, what's weird is his bodyguard. He said, "Hey, you take her car, and I'm gonna roll with Suge. Don't drive me."
So he's just like he's just violating all the normal
All the
actions.
rules, like all the things
I don't
that you
need.
put
I don't
in
need no
place.
bulletproof vest. I don't need my own car.
Yes, everything that you put in place as a protection
Against
protocol, you've broken.
He's like, no, I may even bring my wallet.
Yeah. So then him and Suge headed to the Death Row nightclub called 662. They went in the black BMW 750, but they were also part of a larger convoy. So they had 6 cars and they were, whatever.
Yeah, they're always rolling with
this.
the whole shenanigans amount of people.
Okay, so at 11 p.m., Tupac and Knight were stopped by Las Vegas police officers who were on the bikes. You know, the bike, the bike patrol.
Pull over!
Yeah. And they were, hey, your stereo is too loud. And you don't have license plates.
and there's nobody driving.
Yeah. So they opened the trunk. The plates were in Suge's trunk. So he just never put them on his car.
What the fuck?
For whatever reason. I guess he was just not trying to get it.
It's the sketchiest thing ever. I don't even plug the license.
Anyway, so they released them or they let them go without a citation or anything. So 10 minutes later, while they were stopped at a red light at the intersection of East Flamingo and the Covell Lane in front of the Maxim Hotel, a vehicle pulled up with 2 women on their left side. Tupac was talking to them through the window.
Hey, showed it.
And it was like, Tupac, I love you, Tupac.
I know, that's why he's like, stay at the hotel, baby.
Yeah. I love you, Tupac. And then he's like, hey, come over to Club 662. And he invited them.
Get around.
And they've instantly.
Yeah, and they've gone.
Come into the car with us right now.
And they've done interviews where they were, he was, hey, come over, come to Club 662, right? A couple minutes later, a white four-door Cadillac pulled up to Suge Knight's right side. So here's Suge and here's Tupac, and the car pulls up right here.
Suge's driving.
Yeah, Suge's driving. And there's a great photo because those girls took a photo. So the last photo of Tupac is literally moments before he gets shot.
Wow.
Yeah. So the shooter seated at the back of the Cadillac, rolled down the window, and rapidly fired shots from a Smith & Wesson Glock 22.
All right.
Tupac was hit 4 times.
22.
So Tupac was hit 4 times, twice in the chest, once in the arm, and once in the thigh. One of the bullets went into Tupac's right lung.
Oh, fuck.
And Suge was hit with a fragment in his head.
Wow.
Oh.
Maybe that's when he went like fucking super crazy.
So then Suge basically floored it, did a U-turn, crashed into a pole.
Damn.
Like
almost made it smooth.
It was about a half mile. Yeah. So a little bit. He made it a little bit, right? So despite the fact that Suge apparently got shot in the head, he had a flat tire at this point because he went over the curb. He was able to drive.
Where they got shot, or the tire got shot.
That's such a funny piece of information. And the tire's flat.
Yeah, we don't know. He was able to drive Tupac and himself half a mile from the site to Las Vegas Boulevard, right? Then those same people on the bikes were the first on the scene, like the cops on the bikes.
Fucking in on it.
He was then taken to the hospital, heavily sedated, but reports say that he was alive, saying, like, help me, I can't breathe.
Oh, because his lung.
I can't breathe and I'm still alive. So he was taken into the emergency room, heavily sedated. He was put on life support machines and was put into a medically induced coma after he kept trying to get out. All right?
Damn.
Out of the bed, whatever.
That was probably that the medically induced coma probably did him in.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So then...
I love that he's still scrapping. Like, let me have the fuck out.
Yeah, seriously.
So then his girlfriend came, Jones, she came, and per her reports, she played him Don McLean's Vincent on a CD player next to him, and he woke up.
What the fuck? Medically induced coma? Jesus, music transcends.
He moaned a bit. You know, Suge was released the next day, but he wouldn't speak to anybody. He wouldn't tell them what was happening. So by then, Friday happened. So days went by. And he had multiple surgeries. And at first, the first couple of days, it was he's a 50-50 chance of living. He's going to be fine. He's going to do well. You know what I mean? All right. Homie's been shot before.
Exactly. People were, he's been through this before. They're hopeful.
Yeah. But Friday, September 13th, he died of respiratory failure because of the lung. So they removed the lung in the next surgery because it was internal bleeding, you know. Anyway, so he was pronounced dead at 4:00 on that day. Now, the officer that came and was the first one on the scene said the following in an interview. And he said...
I got his autograph before I died. It's up on eBay.
Yeah, his name was Chris Carroll. And he said that at first he was struggling and then eventually got to I'm at peace and I'm ready to go kind of thing. Just like that, he went from fighting
struggling. You mean like resisting him, or
just resisting the pain and the dying and the you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. To he went from fighting it to I can't do it anymore. And when he made that transition, he looked at me and he's looking right in my eyes, and that's when I looked at him and I said one more time, "Who shot you?" And he looked at me and he took a deep breath and he got the words out and he opened his mouth and I thought he was going to cooperate. But what he said was, fuck you.
I know, snitch. Who shot? Fuck you. I love this story.
And then he looked me dead in his eye.
And it's like so serious. Oh my God. And we had a moment. Our souls were connected. And he was like, fuck you, cop up, bitch.
Fuck the police.
What a story of Tupac, right?
Fuck you. Tupac to the end.
Yeah.
To the end.
And that's what happened.
That's what we got for you guys tonight.
Unfortunately, that's the end of episode number 1 of Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, we like to do these endings on like the lowest possible note. Just drive you into the ground. Like, see you next week.
No, but that's what happened with Tupac, and next week we're going to talk about all the things that happened afterwards, the investigation, Detective Poole, is he in Cuba? Is he still alive?
Is he
where is he?
Is he part of the machine?
Yes.
His consciousness is transcended into the multiverse.
That's right. So thanks a bunch. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Tune in.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Hey, nighty-night.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, and MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Hank's the family fixer, always with his tool belt. But living with prostate cancer, he needed help. He asked his doctor about Xtandi and enzalutamide. Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. Talk to your doctor and visit Xtandi.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast. Go time.
Yes!
Let's do it.
We're back for
What are we
part
doing?
two.
Part two.
Part deuce of Tupac.
What was his name?
It's part
Sean?
Tupac. It's part Tupac.
Yeah.
That's such a lame joke.
Tupac.
That's like T-O-O or
Yeah.
T-U.
What was his name? Sean Brooks?
Crooks.
Sean Crooks.
Like Sean Bishop Crooks, right?
Sean Crooks.
Bishop?
So
I think it was Bishop Crooks, his middle name, yeah. Something like that.
That's
You have
funny
to look at
because
the
wasn't
notes.
that his name in
Oh, yeah, and Jews wasn't his
not Jews,
no,
the other
it
one.
was,
Above the Rim.
it
What
was
was it?
Was
What
it
his name?
Bishop?
Bishop.
It
I
was
think it was
Bishop.
Bishop.
Yeah,
100% it was Bishop. Yeah, it was Bishop. We're going to have to do a little rewatch.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're going to do a little rewatch. Okay, so we left you guys off, honestly.
With him dying.
With him dying,
Dead.
yeah. Tupac
Fucking
died.
dead.
Yeah, that was the moment when he died, and
What was his famous last words?
fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Kappa.
Yeah. But if you haven't listened to episode 1 or part 1, please listen to it.
No, trust me.
You don't want to get this.
Oh, it's good. It was good.
This literally just happened where my wife's listening and she tuned in on I think it might have been Chappaquiddick, and she turned on the second one. She was like, what's happening? Had no idea.
Really?
And she was like, your podcast is all over the place. And I'm like, what? And she's,
You're on part 2,
yeah,
bro.
part 2.
Yeah.
So listen to the part 1 first.
Part
trust
1.
me.
Yeah, you're going to go back to part 1.
Yep.
So we left you off. Basically, Tupac died in the hospital a few days later after being shot 4 times on the street.
It's 4 more times than I could survive.
Yeah, exactly. So right after that happened in Compton, basically a war broke out between North and South, and it was blood Crips, and
I know,
all these murders started happening. And
it's funny. It was like, oh, East West Side. Now it's like just West Side, but
well, now
split
it became
West Side.
now it became blood Crips kind of thing, you know. And there were rumors that it was even $10,000 for every South Side Crip killed.
Yeah, Suge, because Suge was a blood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just put in these couple notes because so Tupac died in '96, and then in March of '97, Biggie did his final interview, and they asked him if he was involved with.
Did you kill Tupac? Sir?
Yeah, they asked him
on this interview.
show.
Give us the truth.
Yeah,
And you could go on YouTube and check it out, and it's an interview with him, and he's like, I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any power. I didn't have power enough for that yet. He said yet, which is super weird. Like you're talking about your old friend's death.
I couldn't have killed him yet. I was still going to.
But he says, I didn't have the power to do that yet. That was word for word. That's what he says.
Well, he did blow up after that. I mean, he was like, then he became the GOAT of the time.
No, Biggie was never the GOAT.
Not even close.
Biggie was never the GOAT.
If Tupac was gone, the next best one was Biggie.
At the time.
At the time. That's what I just said. You guys are the ones that are talking about the GOAT of the time. The GOAT of, it's the greatest of all time.
Okay.
But you guys are the ones that were talking about the GOAT of the time. Anyways, definitely Biggie. Biggie took over.
It's the GOT. The GOAT of the time. the GOT.
So, and then we'll do it in another episode. But
Biggie?
Basically, six months later, Biggie was killed.
Yep.
And he was killed in a similar fashion where he was in a car and somebody pulled up and just shot him.
Yeah.
And he actually died more instantly.
I know, it's a large target to hit.
Yeah. Well, he was shot like right in the...
and then
just pretty much dead.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So basically, the two biggest rappers on the planet died within 6 months of each other. And
it's a shame.
Yeah.
It was, so they're always tied together, right? They're always tied together.
They were so close. Yeah. If Biggie would have died like 10 years later, there would have been two different things.
Well, it was because of that, and they were friends, and they were the two best ones.
Enemies, frenemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of conspiracies about Tupac. And I mean, you got to start with Suge Knight.
Oh, yeah.
You start with Suge Knight. I mean, in prison, he kind of took his career. You know, not a lot of people know this, but apparently Tupac, when he died, he had $100,000 to his name.
That seems
wow.
weird.
Number one records.
Probably because that was probably the deal with Suge.
Number one.
Suge Knight was probably like, I'll get you out of prison, but I'll take in everything.
Yeah. So $100,000 is not a lot of money.
It's like $0 for someone
to be
at
number
that
one
level.
at anything on the planet.
Sure, it was a lot more back then, but
still. He
to be somebody like him of his
and you don't even have like $1 million.
Right.
Yeah. And to have albums selling millions. I mean, he sold
multiple albums.
I think he sold a million albums
75 million
in a month.
That's ridiculous.
Of probably the All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
And then the Machiavelli one came out.
Yeah.
And that shit was on fire too.
So Suge Knight said something strange at the end. He said that he paid $3 million for Tupac to be cremated.
What?
Did
he get cremated in the sun?
Honestly, this is recorded. You could go look at, and you can listen to Suge Knight saying this.
He's so full of shit.
I feel like Suge Knight is fucking full of shit.
Dude, I could get a city cremated for $3 million. Like,
I will cremate you for 20.
I will literally put you on a bonfire for free. Cremate the shit out of you.
I will. You give me a 50 spot, I'm doing it for you. Don't worry.
I tell you, it's on my will. Trust me.
But yeah, anyways, so he said the following. I'm gonna quote this guy.
I'll pay $3 million.
He says, when Pac died, I mean, if he really did, Knight said.
If he really did.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad. I'm going to tell you that with Pac, you never know.
But then he said he paid $3 million to get him cremated.
So Knight then explained his theory why cops never found the murderer, because there was no murderer. He says, and I quote, maybe the question is, Pac's not really dead. Pac's somewhere else, Suge Knight says. When asked if he ever saw Tupac's body following the shooting, he had, nobody's seen Tupac dead. The person who supposedly cremated Tupac, this guy got about $3 million. Personally from me, cash. And the next thing I know, I never heard from the guy or seen him again. He retired and left. Suge Knight.
Come on.
Shouldn't I, okay,
you can look it up. This is not from
your line.
No, I know, but what's crazy about this is not from a reporter, a third-party person writing it down.
That's him.
I listened to these words. I listened to Suge Knight say this.
It's just so funny because I can see like the cremator guys. He's like, yeah, remember $3 million. He's like, all right, I'll give it to you in cash. Yes.
So the
cash.
dude,
I need $3 million cash to cremate this body. Just this is just in our state. but it says the average cost of cremation in our state is $2,200.
Okay.
And this is like
it's a good deal.
And this is
Good
plus,
deal.
this is plus inflation.
Good deal. I mean, I'll cut that in half for you.
So you're saying Suge Knight
give me 100x that, and then I'll do it.
Suge Knight could have cremated 1,000 people for the price that you paid. Actually, no, plus inflation, like
insane,
50,000 people.
Insane statement. Okay. So the dude who was in the car with him is saying that he paid somebody $3 million in cash to cremate him, and he never saw the body.
He quit,
and he disappeared.
He just like vanished, and he paid him up front too.
Yeah, I don't buy one fucking word this guy
Really?
says. No.
So okay,
I don't fucking trust him.
Let's keep talking about Suge Knight. Okay. Okay. So you remember Orlando Anderson?
Yeah, the guy that got
they
his ass
beat up. Yeah, they beat
whooped.
up.
Yes.
Okay. So was on. You remember the 3 strikes thing?
Well, if
you mean like
the legal
three
three
strikes?
Yeah.
So if you get 3 strikes, you're in for life. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You're in for life.
Yeah. Okay. Right after that,
soon after,
Suge was then basically put in jail because he broke his probationary period because he got in the fight that was caught on film. Orlando Anderson.
It's like the kick.
Yeah, but here's the weird part. Orlando Anderson testified in his defense.
Oh.
Because he's fucking scared of him. You heard the story. You heard the stories of fucking Suge Knight
kill you for looking at him wrong?
Yes.
And he says, in quote, and this is this testimony, he says, Suge was the only one I heard saying, stop this shit. Suge was still convicted because he was on video, kicking Orlando Anderson.
He was like, in between his kicks, he was saying stuff.
Yes. It wasn't my head.
What the fuck
I swear.
is that? He, literally, the guy that they went and beat up is now testifying weeks later.
Yeah, it's cremation services. He was paying him. He was paying for cremation services. He was the cremator.
That part's weird.
No, but it's very well known that he's
just fucking
very
just for
scary.
money.
Oh no!
Oh, he was like a fucking terrifying.
No, Suge Knight was this
like
dude.
he would kill you, like cartel style. Like everybody is still scared of him. Supposedly, that's what I hear. I don't know. I mean,
that's a word from the streets.
That's the word on the streets.
From the streets.
Made it all the way down. But that's essentially the.
It is, man. He was like, I'm not
conspiracy.
going to snitch.
Here's the conspiracy, okay, of Suge, is that he knew that Tupac was going to leave death row. And he was a golden goose.
And so he's like, I'd rather have you dead. And just like artists always get bigger after they die.
That's right. So he had the contract of multiple albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
he finished the multiple albums.
You know what the part that
about
does
the
not
peace.
make sense ever? Because I remember this.
Yeah.
Because that was flying around right after all this happened in '96 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Why was he in the car then?
There's the point. There's the point.
You would not.
I mean,
you would
not do a hit and be like, all right, kill Jorge. So come into the
just
podcast
make sure
room,
not to hit me.
but just do the machine. Yeah, do the machine gun thing. Spray us, but don't get me.
Yes. Like
how idiotic is that plan?
No, but the thing is, like, I would. It's not the least believable thing because I can see from that perspective. Suge Knight is not, he's not fucking Stephen Hawking. It's not like master fucking, like he's not some evil scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what a way to make Tupac be completely comfortable and go against all of his little protocols that he put in place.
Right.
He's with Suge Knight. They're going to Suge Knight's club.
Right.
He's with him directly. No one fucks with Suge Knight. It makes him feel super comfortable. I don't need a bulletproof vest. I don't need my girlfriend. I don't need my driver. I don't need anything.
That was such a long list.
Yeah. But how about this? What if Suge Knight had planned it because Tupac was supposed to be in the other car with his security guard or whatever, right? And he changed last minute.
He's like, he's in my car.
I know, I'm like contradicting myself right now, but I just thought about this.
We're gonna make Jorge a believer.
Holy shit, dude!
That's a good point.
Fucking Eagle Scout shit right there, dude. That was good. That's interesting.
No, what if he, so obviously he would have planned this, ahead of time. And he's
Actually,
like,
I like that one.
He's not going to be in this car. He's going to be in the car behind me.
That's a good
legit one. I actually like that one a lot. That's one of the best ones we've ever come up with.
Yeah.
Honestly, we don't solve any of these.
No, we've yet to solve one.
This is not the murder solving conspiracy.
Okay, so but lay that out. So for us people who are not totally listening,
us lay people,
just saying, like, what if Suge Knight planned it out
in advance?
In advance, of course.
Conspired.
Right? He conspired. He planned it out. He's like, okay, I'm going to take this guy out.
Right.
And he knew that he wasn't going to be in his car.
Yeah.
He knew that he was going to be with his security guard, most likely, right? Like, obviously, there's always a chance, but that's the plan. But then last minute, Tupac's like, nah, I'm all good. I'm gonna ride with Suge. And then he didn't have time.
Chaos.
And then
it's like the chaos of
exactly. It's
life.
like everybody's walking out of the hotel room at that time. He's like, oh no, I'm not gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with Suge, right?
And
then Suge Knight didn't have any time to change his plans.
We should email the LAPD on this one. That one's really good.
Even the fact that he didn't have the plates on his car,
right?
So that way, it's like if they get shot, he can just get away. They're not going to tie him to the scene.
Exactly.
I do like the idea that there's a little bit of chaos and accidental things that happen.
Yeah, he get the
shrapnel.
Like
shit just doesn't go right, and
especially
your plans
when you're
are
planning,
not right.
especially when you're planning murder.
Wow, man,
I like that. That's good. I dig that.
And Suge was known for being. Suge was known for being ruthless. Like, if he's gonna fucking kill you, and it doesn't matter that it was Tupac. So that's why that is a possibility.
I think I'm gonna tweet tomorrow.
I'm putting that back on the table.
We solved Tupac's murder.
I might tweet it right now.
Buy an Eagles.
I think I might tweet it right now.
It's crazy. Wow. Okay. All right. I like it.
That's really good.
All right. We're gonna put that in a pin because there's a couple others to go over, right?
Yep.
But I like that one a lot. So the other one that's crazy, this one's a little bit wild, which is Tupac's. He faked his death and he's living in Cuba.
Yeah, I know that one. I believed it for a while.
Because did you?
I did.
When you saw photos?
When I was young, dude.
Yeah.
I saw the photos. I was like, what the fuck?
Who is this guy?
He looks just like him.
Is he living with Bob Marley down there?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, here's the in-depth theory, right? Part of this crazy story of Cuba is that he had an aunt who was a fugitive who lives in Cuba.
His whole fucking family is just
so he has an aunt that lives in Cuba, and then there's photos that emerged in the early 2000s. And
where it looks like
him.
It looks like him.
Yeah. Also, he created the Machiavelli album, and Machiavelli. If you wanted to go over that, but like Machiavelli, what was it? An Italian?
Yep, he was an Italian. Machiavelli is the name of an Italian war strategist, Niccolo Machiavelli, who pretended to fake his death. And when you rearrange the letters, check this out, Machiavelli turns into Am Alive K.
Who's K?
No, like if you rearrange the letters.
Yeah, but I mean, what would cave?
Just like K. not cave.
Alive K?
K.
Yeah, K.
Yeah.
Not like question. Like a question.
K?
K. Like you're acknowledging me.
Like
you're acknowledging me. Like, okay. I'm alive. Okay.
K. And if you erase the letters, it is I am Lord Voldemort.
Okay.
And then check this out. Inside the album, the Machiavelli album, it reads, Exit Tupac, Enter Machiavelli.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Exit 2. It says, I just have a hard time believing that he had this master plan with my 100K in my name.
So then why did he come out with the album named Machiavelli?
I think he was a little bit obsessed with getting shot and murder and gangster life and you know what I mean, like that.
He talks about, I mean, you know, in his raps and then in his interviews too. He just talks about that he kind of knew he was going to die young, or he felt that he was going to die young, right?
Why?
Because he's living the fucking fast life.
He's living the fast life.
Sorry, Sean just showed me the photo of the Cuban Tupac. Just because here's the thing. Just because you put a bandana backwards.
Yes.
That's the Tupac look, right? That's the Tupac look.
It is the Tupac look.
For sure.
Yeah. Here's the...
No, that's definitely
not him. Look at the nose is different.
Yeah.
The nose is totally different, bro.
Oh my gosh, totally different.
Anyways, I have a hard time believing that, with his 100K to his name, I'm gonna
retire
in
Cuba.
In Cuba's like,
I'm hella rich.
He's like, this 100K is like $1 billion in Cuba.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Meanwhile, his mom and Suge get all the rest.
Yeah.
And also, like, why would he? Why?
Yeah.
Why at that point?
There's no point.
The guy was like on fucking top of the world at that point, right?
But the idea is that he was done. He didn't want to deal anymore.
Maybe that's how he gets out of the life.
He was not the kind of guy that is like, I want to get out of this life.
What kind of guy he was?
Look at him. Listen to his shit. Like, that's not him.
I know.
He's not going to fucking run and hide forever and never come back out.
We have a live action interview from Jorge Tupac's high school friend, Jorge from Baltimore High School. That's not who he was.
I know him.
I know Tupac's my homie. No, I understand though. He doesn't seem like the type of dude.
No, he was a fucking outspoken.
Coming from the guy who had a cigarette after getting shot. Yeah. I mean, my God, I'd be crying, weeping.
Fucking famous last words. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's all got fuck you.
I know, I do like that.
That's so savage. Yeah, I would not do that. I'd be like, this is who shot me. This is his address.
Snitch. I know.
I'm snitching on everybody.
Go get him.
I know, please. Make sure I don't die.
Okay.
Anyways, why would he also choose Cuba? Why not like?
Because the aunt's there.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
that's true.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a free, like no rent.
I guess.
Rent free.
Yeah. He's cool. It's cool. Of all the third world countries,
you pick that. And they're like,
the next theory. So you guys think that one's retarded?
Yeah.
100%.
Cuba's done.
I do.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm gonna ask you straight up. Do you think Tupac's alive right now?
Fuck no.
Hell no.
He is
Absolutely,
dead
he's
as
dead.
a fucking
Oh,
doornail.
he's dead.
100%.
Yeah.
Even Obama made a joke about it. Anyways.
That he might be alive?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Tupac. I saw him on Epstein Island.
Oh.
Another episode.
Okay, so the next one. So the next one is probably the most logical. I hate to say it.
He's dead.
Yeah.
No, it's that.
Logical.
It's that
That's the
Orlando
conspiracy.
Anderson organized it with his crew.
That's what they think. That's the
that
most
fast? Right after he got fucking his ass beat? He's like, he goes, gets his homies and...
Yeah, I mean, it's
because
just 2 hours later.
That's right. I
They're
was
all
gonna say
in
after,
Vegas. Like,
after the fight, he goes back to his room, and so
Yeah.
okay, I forgot about
They
the
beat
2
my
hours.
ass.
That's right.
Defend me.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of witnesses. There's a lot of things on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to go into the whole every single person and witness and la 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 la. But
I think
Orlando Anderson seems to be the one with motive.
Yeah, it is.
He seems to be there. He seems to have the crew, the resources. You know what I mean? With the blood Crips, all the things seem to kind of point to Orlando Anderson.
No, I think it is the most.
It's kind of boring.
I think it is boring as shit. And it's not sexy. It's just super lame.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most logical, though.
Yeah.
I mean, just because I'm just gonna disagree with it, just because it's too logical. It's too. It's too easy.
Too easy.
It's most likely the truth.
But we want a conspiracy.
So here's an
give me
offshoot.
another
That's
one.
why I'm doing this podcast.
No. So here's an offshoot of it. Right? Is that Orlando Anderson did it with Suge?
I was gonna say like Orlando Anderson hired by Suge Knight.
So we're back to Suge.
Well, because it's then then
we're
Anderson
back to-
testifies.
So maybe Suge.
Oh, true. No, but I already told you why.
No,
Yeah,
no,
'cause he's scared.
maybe Suge did that. Orlando Anderson, maybe Suge. Remember because Suge Knight
So
was
that's like part of Suge's conspiracy.
No,
you're saying.
Suge Knight was the one who called out that Orlando Anderson was there
Right.
in the hotel when they beat the shit out of him, and
So he set
obviously
it up.
Tupac was the one who got him. But he was like, "Hey, look,
Yeah.
it's Orlando Anderson. He's right over there." And Tupac's
Mr.
like,
and
"Beat his ass." You know, they don't sound like that, but you know,
Right.
So I think that one vibes a little bit more with me.
Both of those.
Oh yeah,
Both
I like the Orlando Anderson Suge
Yeah.
combo.
The combo.
Right. So
Take the number
No,
three,
it
please.
actually
Touch on
makes
that.
kind of sense. If you believe the Suge one, then this kind of ties into
Yeah,
it.
tied
it makes
into
it
it.
more, makes it even more
Yeah.
real.
Right.
I totally believe
Interesting.
Suge. It's really easy to believe a piece of shit does shitty things.
So there's a couple
Exactly.
that keep floating around, but they have been debunked But so I thought I'd bring them up just because.
Who debunked them?
Well, like there's one that's the FBI.
LAPD?
The FBI killed Tupac because they're trying to simmer down the gangster rap violence.
Yep. Oh,
and like bring it down.
And by killing the rapper.
Biggie, and then they killed Biggie too. And then all of a sudden now it's like Puff Daddy going, every step you take.
I know that's the art. That's actually a hilarious theory, which actually might be true. The CIA is like, we got to cut this shit out.
Yeah,
they're like, well, Nika, we're gonna pay them big money just to go R&B.
Hey,
let's go back to R&B.
How do we get a black rapper to sing Sting?
I got a plan.
Look, they're already. Look what they did to Drake. They're like, how do we get a black rapper to sing Beyonce?
But there's actually no evidence. There's nothing tangible.
No,
about,
I don't.
I did hear about another one similar to that, which is the CIA wanted to kill him off because he was basically getting too powerful, and he was getting ready to like kind of start a revolution.
I don't believe that at all.
That's
a revolution of what?
Wait,
so
we killed that
just
one.
West Side.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm not even
California.
I'm just saying. That's what I heard.
No,
it was like a revolution of mostly the black people against the police.
Okay,
I don't know.
I can see that. But
and so they're like, we gotta take them out.
Yeah. Why did they kill fucking Ice Cube? I know. And they literally have a song, "Fuck the Police."
Yeah.
For like multiple minutes, it's just fuck the police.
Who do you think is more powerful, Tupac or Ice Cube?
Tupac.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tupac. If you go back,
he became too powerful.
Honestly, if you go back and listen to his interviews, they do interviews with other rappers, and they're all stupid, and they sound stupid as shit. And then you get Tupac on, and it's like passionate, and articulate, and you know what I mean. And it's bam, 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 and like Tupac's going.
And it was also because of his past with the Black Panther, his history and whatnot.
And knowing that actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand it. I just
don't believe that one either. I'm just saying I heard that.
He was. Yeah. I just don't see him as like a revolutionary. I mean, if you listen to his songs,
his name was actually after a revolutionary.
That's right.
Yeah, that his mom named him when he was 1. It's not like Mama. It's not like it's not like Muhammad Ali who changed his own name from Cassius Clay to that. His mom.
I was named after a fucking novella.
Really? Like a sex novel?
That's why. That's how.
No, not a sex novel.
It's a novella. It's a sex novel.
No, it's a TV show.
Sex novel.
Oh, I thought novella was a sex
fucking
novel.
Mexican novellas. You never watched that shit?
But it's like love. It's like a sitcom, but it's like love romance.
Oh, okay. I thought it was smut.
It's
like Mexican porn. Mexican porn.
Grande.
The big.
All right, next one. Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
Okay, the next one is actually the other one that might hold some water.
Okay.
Right? And that's Puff Daddy did it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I believe that.
Okay.
There are witnesses that say that. Now,
But you can't just say Puff Daddy did it. Like,
I know. No, hear me out. Hear me
Okay.
out. So there are witnesses that say that Puff Daddy said, I want you to kill Tupac.
Who said that to who?
There's a guy named Cafe D, right? His name is Keith Davis. And he said that he was told by Puff Daddy that he would get $1 million to wipe out Suge and Tupac. And that also Orlando was one of the shooters with him.
Did he get like 500K?
He said he got 500K.
He's saying that he was paid.
He said that his crew was paid 500K because they only did one.
So he admitted it. Did he go to prison for admitting to this murder?
He went in prison for something else.
Oh, so he was already.
And then when he was in there, he admitted.
That's the only thing I don't like about that is like I feel like these guys, if you're already in jail forever, like you want to have a little bit more street cred. It's super easy for you to be like, I killed him.
Yeah, and there was like a few of those, right? Yeah. Like the few people that
Cafe's Cafe, whatever. Cafe D is on record
saying that he did.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's
a confession. You know what I mean? Like there's a recorded confession of him saying Orlando Anderson and him and another 2 people were paid to shoot Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, but that's after he's in jail. That don't mean shit.
See, this just brings me back to the.
He just wants street.
Remember
cred.
when we did? Remember when we did DB Cooper? How many dudes on their fucking deathbed?
Thousands of people said they wanted to kill.
Yes.
They were DB Cooper, or they found DB Cooper. They slept with DB Cooper. It's like
everyone, and it's always when they're dying because he can't come after me later.
Yeah. What is the deal with all these people claiming fake things?
They want the credibility that comes with it.
Honestly,
he's already in jail. Like, what's he got to lose?
Literally, dudes are hassling.
Anyway, so that's a big one.
I mean, it's totally possible. It's just I think it's.
And who is he like to Puff?
He's
like they're just friends. He's some gangster.
He's a gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say
East Coast?
gangster.
East
He's
Coast?
not an Italian gangster. He's a hood gangster.
Yeah, he's like
you know what I mean?
Is he East Coast?
Yeah, East Coast.
Yeah.
And I think that now it's like it's like you're a gangster every time. It's like a thug.
Yeah. And so he was saying he was at a party and he was with Puffy. Is it Puffy?
Yeah.
Puff. Can I say
P.
Puffy?
Diddy.
Or Sean.
I like Sean.
Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah. I like Sean. So, okay, so this is called the Russell Poole theory, and he was a detective with LAPD, and it's actually a really decent theory. He investigated the murders. He was a decorated LAPD detective, and he helped unravel the misconduct in the LAPD in the 90s. So it was like police corruption.
Jesse Jackson shit happened.
Yes, that's right. And so he revealed that off-duty LAPD officers were handling security for death row.
Ooh, maybe these are the 2 bicycle cops. Whoa, hey.
No. There's people in the other cars.
Oh,
yeah, there's people in the other cars and that sort of thing. He thought they were all dirty cops.
Ooh.
Who were doing security for death row, who were dirty cops.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm just going to read you something because I just thought about it after you said that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that he was shot with a Glock 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By far the most popular police service pistol in the United States, the Glock 22. I just thought of it when you said that, and isn't that interesting?
That is interesting, actually.
By far,
that's interesting.
By far the most popular police service pistol in the United States, the Glock 22. I
didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until you said it. I was like, wait, I think this might have some connection here.
Yeah. Poole was like he became obsessed with this case and he just kept going and going and he kept going and going for so long that he was removed from the case and then he was removed as a detective, period.
They're like, you're on like
and he just kept going and going. Yeah, no, he's not in the force. Like he just got removed.
You just removed.
Yeah.
Like, fully removed.
And I think it had to do with a couple things. One was his theory was that it was the LAPD were corrupt.
Oh, and then so the LAPD is like, crew, you gotta go, bro.
Yeah, it's like your crew that you're saying you guys are corrupt, and then you don't have any evidence, and then you just keep doing it for years and years and years.
They're
and
like,
then
get
out of here.
Just leave.
Yes,
like, why are you working for a place you don't believe?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the idea. His theory is that basically there's 2 cops that were the head of security, and they basically were given the hit on Tupac, and then they went and killed Tupac.
So the security guards did the hit, or they knew about it?
No, they did the hit. The off-duty police officers.
But weren't they in the cars with them?
No, they weren't in the. They weren't in.
There's no record. There's no witness. There's no. You know what I mean? A lot of the witnesses too. There was one witness who said, "Hey, I can identify the shooter." He was killed a couple weeks later.
Damn.
That's
you know what I mean? So
I actually think that one's interesting, especially since he was shot with. I mean, if you just do statistically, it being the most in the entire United States, the most common service pistol. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting little tidbit there.
That is.
But he goes one step further. Okay, and it's that it was also Suge Knight was also the hit.
So you mean Suge Knight? They wanted to kill Suge Knight too.
They wanted to kill Suge Knight too.
So maybe like
so it was a collaboration with Suge Knight's wife and the police officer.
Oh, they were like fucking.
So then Suge Knight's wife would get everything.
Oh, and then he'd get a payout.
Probably also Suge had dirt on them if they're dirty, right?
Yeah, it's probably like,
so they were like,
yeah.
I don't trust.
We gotta get rid of him.
You gotta get rid of him. I can't trust him.
So Poole said at one point, he said Suge wasn't divorced yet, and if he died in the hit, she would have gotten everything, most everything. So she went to Wright Jr., who was in charge of death row, and ran it while Suge was in prison. Yeah, okay. Wright Jr. has gotten away with it this whole time. So it was basically a collusion between
the guy who
Wright
was running
Jr.
death row
and the wife.
Oh, so because when Suge got out, that guy was nobody
There you
again.
go.
And he's, I want to keep running it. And she's like, well, if I'm running it, you can run it, and I'll just get the money.
Yeah. There you go.
Who wrote it?
Anyways, I mean, there's a lot of weird, and I don't even want to go into it because some of it I find to be stupid, where they go like rap songs came out 5 years later, and then they said, yeah, I killed you, and you're all right, well, that's not evidence. That's bullshit.
And you know can say whatever the fuck on a rap song.
You want. Yeah, I killed JFK. Bro, go. You know, it doesn't even matter.
I am the magic bullet.
Yeah. I literally, yeah. I'm in love with Cleopatra. What?
Like, okay.
Cool.
Eric built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Eric was one of the employees, one of the first employees.
So here's the last thing on Poole, right? This is the detective Poole.
Yeah.
The attorney that represented Biggie said the following about Poole. Said Poole's a tremendously accurate detective. Of course, he got yanked off the Biggie case, but the detective work that he did was really solid, intuitive, smart, and fact-driven. Do I agree 100% with his conclusions? No. But he did really good work without an agenda. Everything else I've seen since then from other people in the case had an agenda or bad motives.
Okay.
So he's basically just saying, like, he worked really hard.
Yeah, he's an actual good detective.
He's a cop.
He's a detective.
And it's a good, you know what I mean? And it's worth looking at or worth
just considering. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's totally plausible. Maybe it's a triple threat. Maybe it was the police, Suge, and Orlando trifecta. A whole
to take Tupac out.
Yeah, this whole thing to take Tupac out. The cops would cover it up, make sure Suge didn't get fucking pinched. Orlando could be the fall guy.
You can't make sure that Suge is not going to get shot.
No, it didn't get pinched. This didn't get.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're gonna go after Tupac, and the guy's sitting right next to him, literally me and you right here, like that's how close they are. It's a fucking
4
car.
shots.
Well, he got shot 4 times. But there was many more shots.
I think it was at least 6.
At least, but there was a bunch of fucking shots. How are you gonna make sure that you're not gonna hit Suge?
Maybe those risky is willing to take. I gotta have him dead. He's gotta be gone.
Even if I die.
It just makes it to me like Suge seems like the kind of guy. It's like if you ain't with me, you with nobody.
You dead.
I know you ain't making nobody no money except for me.
He is like that. For sure.
100%.
That's him. That's him. Like my whole thing is, well, then, why would he ride next to him?
I do like your theory that he set it up beforehand. It was they had to improvise. This was the time.
Yeah,
because he wasn't wearing the vest. But now he's in my car. Fuck it, you got to take the risk.
Yeah,
and it's fuck it.
Yeah,
they took the risk and it paid off. I like that. I think to me
what it is.
that is the most. That's what I believe. I believe that Jorge's theory on Suge set it up previously, had this whole thing planned out. it wasn't supposed to be in his car.
Something just changed.
They had a convoy. Something changed.
And he couldn't stop it. It's not like you had cell phones and you're like texting people,
Because imagine
right?
if you're like, no, Tupac, you're not right with me. Like, of course he's
no,
going to be alerted.
It would be weird if he was like, no, Tupac, can't ride my car. And he's like, who's riding your car? Nobody. I want to ride alone. It's like super sketchy.
Exactly.
True.
So I think he was just, okay, sure. And then like, I think they did have cell phones back. They had cell phones.
96.
Yeah, they had cell phones.
Yeah.
I didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, you weren't a rapper.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think they did.
No, they were like the car. They were like the no, they didn't. Hey, just like the car phone.
Yeah, it's not like, yo, send me a text.
Yeah, there was no text. It was probably like, I want the vanilla ice cream still in my car though. Okay, see you later.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys are both on that? That's where you would go?
That's the one I like. I do think that there might have been some cop involvement.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because there is evidence that shows that some of these cops were moonlighting as security guards for death row.
Yeah, so
there's nothing around that.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Happening. Like, I think the cops are involved, especially...
I know,
whether or not they're corrupt, I don't know. But, like, they're moonlighting. They're working at night and the weekends at a club.
We know what moonlighting is.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm extrapolating. No, so where are you at? So that's where you're at. You guys are both on the same page on that.
I'm like 80% that.
I'm taking from his and then adding in the cop element.
I know the cop element. Like, yeah.
But I also think he could have just been killed by like the Orlando guy.
Here's the other question. Nobody's been charged. Nobody's been convicted. Nothing.
Which I think is weird.
Like, why?
I think it's weird.
Why is it weird?
What do you mean, though? There's even Chris Rock
nobody's going to talk.
Was more people saw Tupac get shot than an episode of Seinfeld. Like, he made a joke about it. How have we not
solved this?
Even charged anybody?
Like
nothing. Right?
Yeah.
They all got away with it.
I do think it's weird that they got away and it was in broad daylight. Yeah. And not in broad daylight, but like on the streets.
Right.
Of Vegas. And no one, they didn't find a car, did ballistics on like, I mean, I watched too much CSI to believe that anyone can get away with any murder.
Yeah. It almost seems like the only way to get away with murder is to do it out in public with chaos.
What do you think?
I think that, unfortunately, he was too caught up in the thug life thing.
And Orlando killed him.
And it was like he went and beat him up in public.
That's true.
He beat him up fucking like an idiot.
To shame him. Yeah.
Like literally by 50 people on camera. And then the guy was like, you know what? Fuck you. You know what I mean? Bloods and Crips and and they just popped him.
You know, it does make sense.
And then it was sloppy police work, sloppy activity. Nobody took responsibility for it. And then nobody did it. And nobody charged him because there's no evidence. And then everybody starts dying, and then all the witnesses are gone, and here we are, and we lost Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, I do think
it's boring.
I think partially my theory is fueled just from I hate Suge Knight. So like, I want him to be responsible because I hate him.
I do kind of believe that Suge Knight fucked his life.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Whether or not he killed him, I don't know, but
he turned him into this
I know
tornado.
You feel that. If you, what you should do is actually go watch the videos of him running through the casino, and he looks fucking like he's like skipping, like pumped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know. No wonder he fucking got into it. He started beating somebody up. Like he was pumped.
He was like vibing.
He was pumped about something. I don't know if it was about Tyson.
Yeah. Or maybe
he's like, I need to pump. I need to punch somebody. Yeah,
that's true.
This could have been totally on drugs.
But his rap sheet is super upsetting. I mean, and then additionally, did he rape the girl? I don't know.
I mean, even if he did, him not raping her, but like giving him to his homies, that's fucked up.
I know, right?
That's fucked up.
That's super fucked up. And first of all, like, how could you feel good about that?
I know.
Like, oh, I'm gonna share you with my friend. Like, ooh, that's so. I don't. It's never like crossed my mind.
It is a bummer that I had a perception of him before I started doing this.
I thought he was like a good guy.
Yeah, I thought he was an intellectual trying to create change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after doing this, it only went down.
See, that's why I don't believe that he was like some fucking
But
radical.
just because of the rape charges?
In the assault charges and the weapons charges and getting shot 8 times.
And the thug life tattoo.
And, the drugs going on and the this is and that, just the way he treated everybody. And then, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
The fact that he told his girlfriend that to not come to the club and then immediately hits on 2 bitches instantly after he leaves. 4 seconds.
That's why I say so. Like my perception of him just kind of
you guys thought that he was not a fucking rapper and not a player. He's a straight arrow.
I actually thought he was intellectual. No, and I thought he was different.
I thought he was more like, oh yeah, I'm a rapper, but I'm actually smart and I'm not here just to do the rap thing.
Yes.
Obviously, he's gonna fucking
just do thug life.
Fucking everybody's on his dick, and he's got fucking some money.
I'm not giving him shit for that. I'm just saying. I think that he was. I think I'll just do this rap thing. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. I think he started with, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it." Then he was like, "Yeah,
like he started at poetry almost, and then it went to.
And went from like ballet to fucking.
He definitely spiraled. Downward spiral or whatever.
Do you think he was doing drugs?
Oh, for sure.
Aside from weed. Do you think he was only doing weed?
I think he was just doing weed.
I think so. I don't know. It just didn't. He never
said that he was doing harder stuff.
I never seen. Right? Well, normally you can see signs of someone starting to like the facial changes and like.
Yeah, that's true.
But he always kind of looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
He did Hennessy.
Like a steady drip.
Yeah, and a Newport.
I love them, Newports. All right, well, I think we all agree that he's dead.
Yes, 100%.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, fortunately.
You know what I mean?
No, because if he was alive, he would have. We would have.
He's not the kind that would be quiet.
Yeah, we would have known.
He would
real.
He would not retire.
No.
I mean, it's also like he died in '96. I mean, dude, that was almost.
Oh, that's upsetting. It's
like,
almost. We don't even know math.
Almost.
We don't know math.
20, 30, it's almost 30 years.
Oh yeah, shit.
29 years.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Come on.
What's crazy is he would be 57.
Really?
Yeah.
So how old was he when he died?
27.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go, guys.
He's fucking bitches in Cuba right now. At his auntie's house.
Rent free?
You're living with your auntie and uncle in Cuba.
It's so weird, though. Just last thing, it's so weird, though, that we're now like dealing with Jada Pinkett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gross. It's just weird.
I'm sorry. Like,
I think it's weird.
She was fine. She was like, whatever, but like,
was she?
Now she's, no, she's
when
like,
was she ever?
No, what?
I'm just saying, she was never.
No, I'm saying like, no, I'm saying
she never like a thing.
No, I'm saying she was kind of like whatever. Like I didn't mind her.
What did she do that?
Nothing.
Why is she a superstar?
She's not a superstar. Have you seen her?
Why
act?
is she a star? Period.
She got lucky with one of the Matrix movies.
Not even just Matrix 3.
I said with one of the Matrix
Honestly,
movies.
What accomplishment? Oh, whatever. I don't even.
Wasn't she like in that one terrible movie? Set It Off, right? Wasn't she? It was so bad.
Oh, that's right.
I love that movie.
I hate that movie. Queen Latifah. I know Queen Latifah's good.
Yeah,
I love her. Queen Latifah is fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
Hope you guys like this one.
Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Like I said, I openly admit to my biased opinion because I hate Suge Knight. But tell us what you think. If you have new thoughts, I mean, we'll post a poll and put that up and see what you guys think for that. But obviously, feel free to reach out to us on social media. We'll obviously be posting videos and stuff. Tell us what you think, and we try to respond to every single comment. And
I want to know if you like this one, and if you want us to do Biggie, let us know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a shorter one, but because obviously only the second goat gets only the got get go.
Have a good one.
Nighty night.
So you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
This episode is brought to you by Pluto TV. Summer of cinema is here, and Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Beverly Hills Cop, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Good Burger, Stealth, Four Brothers, and Star Trek. Bring the action with you and stream for free on all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never. Stream now at Pluto.tv.
Okay, guys, well done getting through the first part of the compilation. Here we are now, fast forward 2 years. It is now May of 2025.
Yeah.
And we're going to kick off the updates regarding the Tupac case. Sean's going to take a break. I don't know, Sean's out. But I'm Eric.
I'm Katie.
And this is Jorge.
And I'm Leanne.
And so here's what we're going to do is we're going to go over a little bit about Keefe Davis.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have heard in the news, but Keefe was arrested. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little like addendum or addition or whatever you want to call it. And
annex.
And
what is it called?
It's about Keefe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Dwayne Keefe Davis, known on the streets as Keefe D, was born in 1963, growing up in Compton, California from a young age. I know we went over a lot of this, but it was very short.
Yeah.
And it was just like, who were the suspects? Yeah. So
Right,
we
didn't get into like his past, you're saying?
Yeah, we didn't get into who and like actually why, right? So Keefe was immersed in the gang culture of Southern California, and he became a high-ranking member of the Southside Compton Crips.
Okay.
Otherwise known as SSCC. One of the most notorious...
Eric's throwing up gang signs right now.
One of the
You can't
most
see it.
notorious and feared gangs in the area. Throughout the 80s and the 90s, the Crips were not only involved in local gang rivalries, but also tied into the West Coast rap scene.
You think that like still goes on a lot right now?
No.
No, right? I think
It's
that's
over.
like
Gangs? It's
Gang.
over?
No,
specifically
The
Crips and the
gangs-
Bloods.
Crips and the Bloods.
Of
You know, remember
course
like West Side?
Of course it still goes. Why would it
But
stop?
like
No.
as deep as like in the 90s?
I
don't-
think it's probably deeper, but in a different way.
Wow, deeper.
Deeper how?
I don't.
mean, all the like drug rings and
But it's not like rap related. It's not like
Yeah.
yo, Jay-Z. Or no, I don't know who the
Yeah,
big
probably
rappers
not
are now.
rap
related.
Yeah, it's not
anymore.
rap related.
Okay.
So they went underground,
Yeah.
I guess.
They kept it on the
Yeah.
streets and rappers just brought it to Hollywood.
Yeah, but like we went over before, this was an era when gang life and hip hop culture became intertwined and or together. Rap artists were often associated with, protected by, or part of those local gangs. Keefe D himself wasn't a rapper, but he was deeply connected with the many players that were in LA rap world, especially Compton. One of the most important relationships in the story is that Keefe D's nephew was Orlando Anderson. You remember Orlando Anderson in the story that we told? It's the guy that got beat up. He had the big chain, and Tupac's like, and he's the one who he got into a fight with on video in the Las Vegas hotel.
You know, what was it? A couple months ago that I was in Vegas.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
When did I go?
March?
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, I
Mhm.
stayed at the MGM Grand, and I was walking around. And I was looking.
No,
for
you walked in the same lobby.
I was walking that same little, and so it's not at the lobby where you check in. It's actually a little circle that all the elevators get out from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Grand Central Station of it.
There you
so
go.
to
It's
speak.
like all
Yeah.
the elevators kind of just meet there, and so
Mhm.
there's a bunch of traffic going on. And
Yeah. Damn, I wish you took a selfie.
should have, right?
Right? And like throwing up like, dear mama.
Dear mama.
I don't know. What's his
As he throws up the as he throws up the West sign.
I know, yeah.
West side.
Anyway, so in 96, Tupac, of course, we went over biggest names in, but he was also a cultural figure. We went over all of this earlier in the compilation. But after being released from prison, Tupac signed with Death Row, run by Suge Knight, right? Death Row was effectively protected by a group called the Mob Piru Bloods, making Tupac, now riding with Death Row, part of the faction that were opposed to Crips.
Right.
Kind of like tracking there. In the months leading up to the Tupac's murder, there are many small incidents, tensions, and disrespect between the SCCC and Death Row associates.
South Side Compton Crips, is that what it was?
Southside Compton Crips, yes, and Death Row. Tupac himself was confrontational in nature and was unafraid to confront his enemies. So then the MGM Grand incident. Now, we went over this again, but I'm just doing a little quick recap, especially for the girls.
Yep.
Make sure they're on the same
for
page.
us, it's been 2 years. I know you guys
Yes.
just listened to it, but we're kind of catching up here.
Also, I'm doing it from the Keefe D view.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, what does he have to do with this, etc.? So, on September 7th, 1996, Tupac attended the Mike Tyson fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. MGM Grand. After the fight, Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage encountered Orlando Anderson in the lobby. Like, you just...
I also walked out of the tunnel.
You did?
Yeah. Because the thing I was at, it was
Can't
like
believe sent 0 photos.
He does have video.
Bro,
I posted it on my
really?
Instagram. You don't even follow me.
You should post it on the...
You don't. My own friend doesn't even follow and like and engage. Hater. He's one of those like lurkers in the back.
Yeah.
No, but that was cool. I was like, I walked out of that same MGM Grand tunnel as Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's my.
So
that's what I came back with from Vegas.
So Anderson had been involved in an earlier incident alleging that he was robbing a Death Row affiliate of a Death Row necklace or chain months earlier, right? And that was an insult to the crew. Tracking. So then Tupac saw him in the lobby and was like, motherfucker, that's my chain.
What's up, motherfucker?
But when you think about it, why was he robbing a chain? Aren't they all rich rappers? Like...
No, I mean Orlando Anderson.
Okay.
No,
We're talking about he's just a street.
Also,
level.
also like just imagine you're in the gang and you're kind of rolling around town and you get up the mischief.
Yeah.
You kind of like,
it's about
that's a motherfucker. Get his chain. Grab that son of a bitch.
It's about respect.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Respect him on.
Yeah. Where's our black co-host?
I know, right? We're missing the Sean.
Okay, so he allegedly robbed somebody that was in the Death Row affiliation, right? So then Tupac saw him in the lobby. He and several Death Row members attacked him in the lobby, and footage we can see shows Tupac throwing the first punch, and Anderson was badly beaten but survived. Okay, so we know all of this happened, right? I'm just doing a quick recap, etc., right? Later that night, Tupac and Suge were driving in a black BMW on Vegas Boulevard on their way to a nightclub around 11:15. While stopped at a red light at Flamingo and Koval Lane, a white Cadillac pulled up next to their car. Shots fired from the Cadillac. Tupac was struck 4 times. Suge Knight was grazed. Tupac was taken to the hospital, died 6 days later. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, recap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global story, etc. Okay. So then... unsolved mystery for years.
Yeah.
Tupac's in Jamaica. We don't know if he's still alive. No suspects.
Didn't like
Oh,
new
yes.
music got released?
Yes, exactly.
That's true.
Okay. So going forward, now we come to a little bit more of a present day. This is what we supposedly know based on witness accounts and the arrest that just happened. Okay. Keefe D was allegedly the front passenger in the shooting car.
Okay.
Okay, passenger. But when they pulled up, the driver's side pulled up,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
Correct. Orlando Anderson was in the back seat. Many believe to be the actual shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrence T-Bone Brown T Brown and DeAndre Dre Smith was also in the car. At that time, Keefe refused to cooperate and the murder case stalled. Police faced a wall of silence from Crips and Death Row. The gang's world of don't talk combined with jurisdictional disputes between LAPD and Vegas PD created more and more problem. Bad rumors, corrupt cops. We went over a lot of this story of
but
like
mostly it's the snitching. They don't cooperate with cops.
They don't cooperate, and then no. Honestly,
what's so funny? That's how it is.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
So for more than a decade, that Vegas PD had little progress. Keefe D remained a suspect. I'm sorry. Keefe D remained a respected OG or gangster, original gangster in Compton. Orlando Anderson was then killed in an unrelated incident in 98. I remember. So he's supposedly the main shooter, but then he was killed. So then that kills the case. And then the case just stalls.
Right.
Yeah. During those years, Keffe D was also involved in drug trafficking, and his criminal enterprise eventually caught federal attention. Yeah?
Okay.
In the late 2000s, the FBI and LAPD came at Keffe D with federal drug charges. Facing a potential life sentence, Keffe D sought immunity in 2009, and during what's called a proffer session. And a proffer session is an off-the-record meeting where a suspect can speak freely with limited risk of prosecution.
Huh. So like he could literally confess or what?
I think it's just...
Or he probably just offers up some...
Yeah, and it's not self-incriminating.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just kind of like a good faith info or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems a little strange, but they have a word for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Keffe D gave an admission about the Tupac murder. In the recorded interview, Keffe D admitted that he was in the Cadillac the night Tupac was shot. He said the gun was passed to the back seat where Orlando Anderson fired the shots. Though this admission was explosive, it came under his immunity agreement.
But also, it's so easy to just blame it on the dead guy.
True.
You know?
True.
Perfect.
True. To give him a little little clout?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like...
But why?
If he's going to offer anything up, he's not snitching on anyone because the guy's dead. Orlando's already dead.
True.
Still, but you're talking about he's probably in 2020. When was this?
2009.
So he was probably, if they were, I don't know, in their 20s back then. You're talking about 10 years
Yeah,
later.
no,
So he's in their 30s or 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. So because it was under the immunity agreement, he couldn't be prosecuted for his words. Yeah. However, it reopened the serious law enforcement interest into the case. In subsequent years, Keffe D grew bolder in his role, continuing to appear in documentaries, little
That's
shows.
what it is. He's getting paid.
A little
now.
Entertainment Tonight shows.
This sounds like
He's getting paid. That's why.
Yes. Police believed that he was profiting.
yeah.
Yeah. But strangely enough, he's now on the record of all these documentaries, and so he's opening himself up for prosecution.
Is he though? If he says the same thing he told them in the proffer
Yeah.
on a documentary.
It's outside of the proffer, though.
Oh,
true.
Right?
Okay. But it's not new
I know.
information from the proffer.
Ask the
True.
local attorney.
Katie?
Yeah, exactly.
He did the proffer.
He did the proffer, and he said that he was in the car, and he didn't shoot him,
Okay.
but he handed the gun to Orlando, who shot him.
Okay.
Okay? But he was in the proffer, and it was under his immunity agreement for the drug bust.
Orlando's dead.
Yeah, by this time he's already dead.
Okay?
Yes.
And remember,
So-
Orlando's the guy that got beat
Yeah,
up. So, he's the main subject.
So they couldn't prosecute him because it was under the immunity agreement and in the proffer.
Okay.
Tracking?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then subsequent years, like over 10 years, he started showing up in documentaries,
Okay.
especially one called an interview. And he published a memoir in 2019 titled Compton Street Legend, in which he repeated the story of that he told in the proffer, where that he was in the car the night Tupac was killed.
Okay.
So now cops are like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is outside of the immunity interview.
Right.
And now you're saying
And
it
you
live on a documentary.
Yeah. So now you're like out there trying to profit and admitting to certain
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Yes.
Got a book, got some documentaries, probably got a YouTube channel. I don't know.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
Southside Compton Cribs YouTube channel.
Honestly, I think you can
Subscribe.
go on TikTok and see some of his interviews saying, I was in the car and I handed the weapon back to Orlando. Orlando fired the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
So what was your question?
I was saying if he's just giving the same information that he gave in the proffer, can they because Eric's like, well, it's outside of the proffer. I'm like, but he's not giving different information. You know what I mean?
I think it is considered
Inadmissible.
confidential. It's evidence, and you're giving this up in order to get a lesser sentence.
But you can't say it outside of it.
Yeah, like it's
No,
just,
but you know what? It probably is considered like entertainment.
Yeah,
Like,
like if
it's
he's
just-
profiting on it, it's like if you like somebody like the Unabomber has gone to jail, and it's literally illegal for him to to write a book or get a movie deal
he's already
or anything
convicted.
like that, because you cannot profit on your crimes.
Okay.
So it'll go to the victims usually.
Unless you're OJ. And you get away with that.
Unless you're
Is there
OJ. I
OJ?
didn't do it, but if
You
I
got away. He wasn't
If I
convicted.
did do it,
Yes.
God.
God, that was the worst. What about
Exactly.
Casey Anthony? Did she was not convicted though? Yeah.
She wasn't convicted.
She was acquitted.
But also OJ wrote the book after
she's back,
he was
too.
out of jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't we? Wasn't that one of the news? Anyway, she's back on social media now.
Yeah, and she's
hate her.
Yeah, she's a human rights advocate.
Oh.
Are you serious?
What about your daughter?
No, that was the
Surprised you
TikTok.
didn't
Was like, hey,
advocate for her rights.
I'm raising money to be a human rights. I think she's a lawyer.
I don't know.
I think she's a legal.
She's a lawyer.
I think she's a lawyer.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Or at least the entry level degree for.
Like a paralegal.
So
yes,
it's kind
I
of
think
like
it's a
what
paralegal.
Kim K did, where you can basically intern for a lawyer for a certain amount of time, and you get kind of like an honorary law degree.
Anyways, there you go. So Keefe D, right? So we all understand what happened. He was in the proffer. He said the crime. He was protected in immunity because that's what cops have as their card. They say, you tell me the stuff on this case, you're immune from it, but we want that detail so we can, go after the other case. Yeah. Then years later, he started going in the media, documentaries, interviews, memoir, all saying it again. So they're like, okay, this is beyond the proffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have even said other things in it, like you cannot talk about this outside of this room.
Yeah, like disclaimers or
there was probably something where he broke some sort of part of the agreement.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a proffer NDA.
Yeah.
Man, we sound legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, an NDA, NCA proffer. Okay, so the LVMPD, it's Las Vegas. Yeah, anyways, I kept going. Yeah.
Las Vegas Metro?
So in 2022, now they have a younger team, and this team was not literally like they were babies in the case of Tupac.
Yeah.
So 30, 40 years later, you have a whole new team, a whole new police department. And so they were interested and began building the case on Keefe D after the fact. Yeah. They analyzed his public statements. They compared it to older records, and they secured new search warrants based on the new information that they had that was not protected under the immunity. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
July 17th, 2023, police raided the home of Keefe D's wife in Henderson, Nevada. And what's crazy about this is we released the episodes that you guys all just listened to in April of 2023.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so we,
You predicted
we solved it. Yeah, we predicted it. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. They seized computers, hard drives, magazines about Tupac, and handwritten notes related to the murder. I don't know who in their right mind would leave a note.
I'm just gonna say, like, who keeps this shit for that long?
But I guess if you were like, this is the biggest moment of your life, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's the biggest moment of their life, right?
Yeah.
But
They're
also,
in the
like,
car.
maybe, these guys are criminals. Maybe he kept stuff as, like, blackmail or, some sort of way of,
Yep.
Clout.
Yeah.
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 Trophy.
Behind the scenes, a grand jury was hearing evidence. Keefe D's own words coupled with corroborating evidence and witness statements, and it finally brought the case to an actionable point. September 2023, after 27 years, Keefe D. Davis was arrested in Vegas, charged with 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon with gang enhancement. At a press conference, the Vegas PD and Clark County District Attorney said that Keefe D was the on-the-ground commander who orchestrated Tupac's murder.
Huh.
Wow.
They made clear that Orlando Anderson was, in fact, the shooter, but that Keefe D directed the attack, supplied the weapon. Under Nevada law, that's sufficient enough to charge for murder. The direction of killing, right?
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 110,000 bonus miles for a limited time through July 16th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends 7/16/25.
Did you say he was charged or convicted?
Charged. Okay. Yeah. This keeps going. Yeah, a little bit. No one else was charged.
Interesting.
Well, they're either dead or...
That's right. Anderson is dead.
20 years, there's no lead. No.
The car's gone. Or other people are gone, and there's beyond, prosecution from there. As of today, May 2025, or June, or whenever we are right now, Keefe D is in custody in Clark County.
Okay.
He's pled not guilty.
So he's out there talking about it. And now he's saying not guilty.
He's saying not guilty. His legal team argues that his 2009 immunity deal and public statements should be inadmissible for conviction. Like every statement he's ever said.
He's probably going to get out.
He probably will.
He's gonna
get away with it.
Yeah, he's gonna be acquitted based on some sort of stupid technicality about that.
Prosecutors counter that his later public confessions, books, interviews, etc., were not covered by immunity and demonstrate a clear, consistent admission, confession of participation in the murder. The case is expected to go to trial in late 2025.
Ooh, coming up.
If
then
convicted,
the argument is just going to be that it was just entertainment. Oh, I just did it because they paid me to say
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't go out and say shit like that for entertainment.
Movie.
I mean,
the movie deal.
Yeah.
So if convicted, life in prison. Some consider the arrest of Keefe D the closure of the Tupac case. Obviously, it is the biggest break in the case, the biggest update in the case in the last 30 years. But again, it comes back to everything that we have brought up over the last 2 or 3 hours, which is, was that, like, we said he was a suspect. Like, we were like, Keefe D is and Orlando Anderson. That was, I think it was my, and I think it was yours too, summary of it.
Yeah.
But then the other theories were Diddy. The other theories were Biggie.
P. Diddy. I was like, did he?
dude.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
yeah.
Diddy?
Like,
wait, Diddy, you said who else?
Biggie, like
Biggie.
in the sense of that.
Yeah. Well, Tupac did
Did
get with Biggie's wife, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And he had a song about it.
Absolutely. What's her name again? What's her name again?
Faith Hill.
Yeah, Faith Hill. There you go. That's
Faith Evans.
Faith
Sorry,
Evans.
Faith
Hill.
I did
Man, it feels. I did the same. Man, it
Sorry,
feels
Faith
like a
Evans.
woman.
Oh my God, Taylor's gonna kill me.
Taylor would be
I know.
so mad right now. Would be so disappointed. Okay, so I'm sorry to backtrack a little bit, but I have a question. So there was a documentary. On HBO called The Jinx, and it was about a man named Robert Durst. And at the end of the documentary, sorry for spoilers if anybody listening, but at the end of the documentary, he goes into the bathroom and he's still got a mic on him, and he admits in the mirror to himself, and he says, basically, he admits to murdering a bunch of people.
Yeah.
They use that as evidence to convict him.
It's a great documentary.
He's crazy.
It's a documentary. Okay, so you ever see documentaries where you're like, this is like they're hunting for gold. You know they're not gonna find any gold. You're like, this is bullshit. The hunting Hitler,
ancient aliens.
Yeah, ancient. Yeah, you know they're not gonna find.
We're not gonna see
anything.
an alien. Yeah, but you still see it. You still watch it.
This documentary, they literally, the end of the documentary is they catch him confessing.
He confessed on.
Those guys,
on
the mic.
on mic.
Are crazy,
and then he
though.
comes
They
out of the
want to
room and they confront him.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We just heard what you said." Anyway, it's pretty,
and what did he say? He's like, "Oh, I was just kidding."
I can't remember if he like.
I knew it was hot mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he literally, they use that as evidence to convict him. So I don't understand how what Keefe says on live television or whatever can't be used as evidence.
Well, because what they're saying is it's a little different because what they did is the cops came and they said, hey, you're arrested for drug trafficking. We're going to sit you down.
But this is the previous.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Hear it out. You're arrested for drug trafficking, but we're going to do an interview right now and it's recorded. But if you give us other evidence to other cases, we're going to lessen your penalty.
Which I don't
Classic.
like.
But
that
you have
whole
immunity.
theory anyway.
But you have immunity. It's a way to get people to snitch.
Yeah.
But
And they say you have immunity for whatever you tattle on or whatever you rat on.
Yeah.
So
Like sometimes they'd
Snitch.
rather get the
The word is snitch.
information.
Yeah, snitch.
If you have
yeah.
more information on a bigger crime
yeah.
than what you're there
Okay,
for.
so yeah, in this case, drug trafficking.
So that's what they're
murder. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what they're saying. Is
No,
that he had immunity.
Oh yes, I got it.
So
but-
everything. So
yeah.
that admission is immune. That's what he's saying. That's
Yeah,
their
but
argument.
I thought you just read something about how his interviews are inadmissible.
No, that's what one lawyer is saying.
Oh,
The trial's still
defending
going.
him or whatever.
I get it.
The trial's still going, or it's not even going yet.
Oh no, you were
I
just
know.
saying that. So he's just being held
He's being held
until the trial.
Until the trial. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that he hasn't been taken out in jail. I would think like one of these.
Who's left?
Huh?
Who's left?
I mean, the fucking
P.
Crips.
Diddy?
No,
P. Diddy's in jail
That's
too.
true. He is
in jail as well. No,
I'm saying the Bloods or the Crips
Oh,
or
yeah.
the whatever. Somebody's gonna get him.
Yeah.
Did he get out on bail?
No, he's still in there.
in jail.
He's in
Yeah.
jail.
He's
in
being held in
jail
county
right now.
Wow.
until he gets his court, and then if he gets convicted, then he'll go.
Yeah. So, but then the
and then
question,
he'll get killed.
The question then is A, do you, now that this has come out, do you agree with law enforcement that he's the guy and it closes the case? It truly will end the case on Tupac.
Yeah.
Do law enforcement have any incentive to close the case?
Yes, everybody has.
Everybody
both
hates
the
it?
Las Vegas. Yeah, first of all, everybody looked bad for years because of not being able to really put something together to bring forth somebody, that they can charge.
Yeah.
So that's one incentive. Another, like Eric just said, I mean, they have it's new cops now. It's like the Gen Z cops.
Yeah. It's the new guys.
Yeah, and
trying
they want to prove
something.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to. Yeah.
True.
They want to be famous.
True.
Oh yeah.
But so
imagine you're like the cop that catches the
Oh,
Tupac
hell
killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be
what are the top 5 open cases that are needing to be
OJ?
God,
solved?
there's a lot.
Yeah.
John Bonet.
John Bonet, JFK, OJ, Tupac,
JFK.
I'm not
Tupac,
sure if
Biggie.
Tupac makes that list, but
No? Well, maybe.
The
Top
top
10.
5?
No, top 10.
yeah, top
Yeah.
10.
10. Yeah. All right. Well, so you guys, now that this came out though, are you in any way, shape, form some other conspiracy that's involved or
I
no?
have a conspiracy.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
this guy in any way making money off of Tupac's fame?
Yes.
Because here's my thing.
Sure.
Because he's doing the interviews and
He wrote a memoir.
Yeah.
You keep
You know.
stirring this shit up, it sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
But
because do the
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
get
the
in
risk
trouble
is-
for saying this, but do the cops really care? Like
They only care because
Yeah.
do they?
Yeah.
there was one cop, I forgot his name. I think there was maybe 2, I forget, but
Yeah.
I think we went over it that he was on the case for like 20 years or
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't even know how long it's been, but
Yeah.
actually it's been like 25 years now, I think.
30.
No, 30, that's right.
30.
Well, well, Jorge was convinced for a very long time that Tupac was still alive.
I think I just wanted him to be.
He
I know.
wanted him to be.
I should have listened to the episodes to refresh my memory, but
Uh-huh.
wasn't there something about Suge Knight that he was
That's right.
involved?
Oh, yeah.
Suge Knight.
What
Yeah, that was the other
Suge's
conspiracy.
involvement with this whole situation?
That's the other conspiracy is that he was taking over his catalog.
So
Yeah,
we
like,
did
he
go
wanted
over
him
that.
out so that he could get
A quick
'cause he was-
refresh.
So Tupac basically was upset because Suge was getting so much money off of his music.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
right?
he wanted out.
And he wanted out. And
That's for
so
sure.
Suge was like, I'm going to kill him because
Yeah.
On the right.
Oh, yeah.
I want to keep.
No, he felt like he owned him. But we kind of already went over that. And my whole theory behind it, why he's not the one, is he was driving. he would be he was too close to being shot.
He got shot.
That's
he got
true.
nicked.
And he actually got shot, yeah.
By somebody
Like, it's too much
Tupac's
risk,
though,
I
right?
think.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna.
It is a
The
wild.
entire thing was staged.
And Tupac's still alive?
Or maybe it
Tupac's
was,
still alive.
yeah, or no,
Yeah,
maybe
he didn't even
or
die.
and
Ended
to
up
go
in,
even more
Italy.
conspiratorial is what if it was just a messed up, a botched hit job,
True.
and he
Yeah.
did hire him, and it was just a botched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they were supposed to do it at a different time, but Tupac just pissed them off.
On that night.
And they're like, let's just go fucking kill him now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they jump in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
Suge was also like beating this guy up and
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. He was part of it too.
yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think he set up Tupac.
No. All right.
I think it's Keefe.
So do you think Diddy had anything to do with this?
Dude, I think Diddy had something to do with everything.
Yeah, especially with the new info
I
that we have
know.
about Diddy
Oh.
and like how
Yeah.
much he was really
Mhm.
yeah.
And the
Diddy's a
episode that we
psycho.
just
Yeah, he's a psycho. So
and the episode that we just did.
Yeah,
the Diddy
about
episode.
Diddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the Diddy episode.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him
I
to
know.
be
Exactly. I know.
behind this.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. The trial is set for later this year, and we'll definitely do a follow up.
yeah,
Yep.
I hope I wish, I guess, because I don't think they're gonna do it, that they would air it. That would be cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Why don't
I
they
know.
air it? Let's talk about that for a second.
I know.
Like, what stops them? What?
I don't know.
Like, why is Casey Anthony's trial public, but these guys
Or-
get away with not having theirs?
Or Johnny Depp's.
Right. Like,
Remember?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Johnny
that
Depp's
so
was
good.
great.
Did you watch some of that?
Yeah,
I
it
did.
was so
It was
good.
the best.
It was a
Oh
good
my
one.
God, it was so
Yeah.
entertaining.
All right, but we touched on that on the last Diddy
Yes,
episode,
true,
so
true.
you know
Okay, fine.
we'll definitely Anyways, but
back.
we're gonna do a follow up.
We'll circle back.
We're gonna do a follow up episode when the trial is happening, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Conspiracy Podcast.
99. I get to say it this time. What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed this episode. I want to invite you to join us for our Patreon. So what that is an exclusive membership. We're going to be able to get exclusive discounts, like 15% off on all our merch.
And you won't have to listen to these ads ever
No more
again.
ads.
Never again.
Plus, you're going to be able to access our minis episodes. So that's something that nobody else is going to get access to. They're just short podcast episodes worth about 15 minutes long or so.
Yeah.
So cool, extra content
Yeah.
that you're going to get access to.
I know, and all those other suckers are waiting for next Tuesday. You're going to hit some minis up, fill the void.
That's right.
Instead of, having to wait the rest of the peasants for the next episode.
There are two ways you can sign up for exclusive content. The first is through Spotify. There's a link in our profile description that links you to the Spotify premium page. And that's only $2.99 a month. And it gets you an ad-free experience and it gets you extra episodes that come out every month. The other way is through our Patreon. All you got to do is go to Patreon and search The Conspiracy Podcast and you'll find us. There are many different levels there, all giving different amounts of content.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 99.